Hey everybody, I'm going live, just hanging out. If you want to come on, please mention in the comments. For now, it's just going to be me and Cole talking shit, and I'm making Lego. What's up, Cole?
Dude, I'm like pissing off a bunch of feminists and a fat shaming.
It's a good
Fat
time,
shaming
man.
them.
Listen, you know what? I feel as soon as you are fat, you can fat shame as long as you're fat shaming up and not down. Like, you can fat shame me, sir, but I can't fat shame. Well, I can still fat shame you. That's fine, but that's only because I'm hilarious.
I think
Uh,
I
so,
think it's funny that you and I have been like ridiculously fat in
yes,
our lifetimes, and
factual.
even still, right at this moment, we're both fat by like definition, by
Yes,
like society standards,
100%.
and like we're totally like, yeah, you should fat shame people, like,
100%.
like
That shit
that's
works.
not fat shaming is how I got because people kept being like, "No, you look good, you look good, you look good."
You look healthy. You look
Yeah,
well fed.
you don't
Man, you
look
look
that
like you're
bad.
living the dream.
It's also funny how the progression got. As you were enabling yourself, people were like, it started with, "No, you look fine," and then you looking, yeah, you look healthy, and then it would just be, "You don't look that bad," like it
You
got
don't look
worse.
that bad is, bro, that's not
Like you got
nice.
that's
It's not.
that you have to hold yourself accountable because other people won't.
Okay. So,
Because
like,
of the not fat shaming.
I have mixed feelings on that whole idea, right? So just so everyone knows, I am in October of 2022. I started building Skeletor's Havoc staff. This is as far as I got. The next day, I got into a car accident, rode off a car, had a year of therapy, also ramped up my weight loss, lost 140 pounds, and now after over a year, I'm gonna finish this fucking thing. So, yeah. So this is the thing, okay? Is if you don't fat shame yourself, okay, and you don't have people that love you enough to fat shame you for you, you're just gonna die of being fat. That's how that works.
Right. Well, and then in the particular post that I was kind of bullshitting in, I guess, or whatever, it was about like actors, acting.
Yeah,
It was about a child actor, but like regardless, like that is a job where like everybody's jobs are on the line. If
100%.
you don't hold yourself accountable now, other as the star of the show, even as a child, other people start losing jobs. So yeah, they're gonna be like, you need to stop eating so much. You know what I mean? It may be rude, it may be hurtful, but that's what you get when you want to be in that kind of business, modeling, acting. I don't know if there's any other business like that, but like I'm sure there are, but like you can't be flow. I mean, like athletes too, like
Yeah.
any kind of manual
Oh,
labor.
Shaquille O'Neal, lose some weight, fatso, and he did.
He
100%,
he
bro.
lost all the weight after he retired.
He was fit. Then he got obese. Like there's no other way to say it. Okay. Well, granted, he was massive, but and he could carry the weight, but still, hey, he and I weighed the same amount, just so people understand. The difference is he's 7'3".
He's a whole foot taller than
Yeah,
you.
he's a whole foot taller, which is like, okay, I think about that and I'm like, wait a minute, if I was 5 bills and somebody was a foot shorter than me and weighed 5, I'd be like, oh, that one hurts, bro. That's a lot.
Right.
So yeah,
Well, that's like somebody shared. I can't remember who, but somebody shared it. I think it was Joey who shared like a picture of a 7 foot like high schooler not too long ago.
yeah,
And he
height,
weighed like 50 pounds less than me. I was like, man, I got to get my shit.
Yeah, that hurts a little bit, right? Yeah, like people say that, and you're like, man, that's fuck you. Like
Right.
not, yeah, it's a little bit aggressive. There's no question there, but like, yeah, what are you gonna do, right? It's people try and be nice about it, and you're like, yeah, you can't. That's not how that works. You can't just be nice about stuff and be like, yeah, what's the big deal? Yeah, the big deal is you're eating yourself to death, fucko.
Right.
That's
Well,
what.
and the other thing is, it's not always about what you weigh. It's just how, like, you gotta,
How you carry it.
yeah, like,
If
what
it's
do you
causing health
look like?
problems.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're heavy, but you're fucking all muscle, like, okay, that's fine. You know what I mean? Like, it's really all about what, because like I've accepted that I'll never be below 200 pounds again. That's just the fact. No matter what, how good of shape I get in, I'm too, like, I took up strongman sports, you know what I mean, as a kid. And what, like, I'm strong, I'm big, I got giant shoulders, you know what I mean, giant legs. So, like, I will always be 200 pounds. That's just a fact. So, like, it's
Yeah.
not all about your weight per se, it's about how you look, you know. And I think that's the varying difference of how to, like, because you can't trust scale as much.
No.
I think that's what discourages people from like that journey, you know.
Well,
They're
this
like,
is
well, I'm working out, but I'm not losing weight. Well, you might be
Yeah.
gaining muscle, man.
That's also true. Like, because you gain muscle is way more dense than fat, right? And also,
Right.
like, fat is loosey goosey and jiggly, right?
Right.
Muscle don't do that, and that's one of the things. Like, I have has been a huge pain in the ass because, like, I have a hard time building my arms just because my arms are very long. I look like a gorilla. So when I try and build them up, I'm like, they start to get big, but like they get small like that. Like right now, I have
Right.
17-inch arms, which I'm like, yeah, if you put that on a normal person who be like, man, nice arms, you put it on me and people are like, hey, what's up there, stick figure? What the fuck's happening to your arms? I'm
I
like,
kind of have that same problem. I got really long arms too. Like I got they measured in high school and I think it's like a 74-inch wingspan.
yeah.
So I'm like, Jesus, that's longer than me. Like I'm only 6 foot, so
Which is 70.
yeah, 72, I believe.
72. Yeah. Mine's sitting at like 64, 66. So like I have fucking gorilla arms. It's just Lego like a Frenchman, like a Lego. Yeah, well, that's fair. But yeah, like people don't realize you're going, yeah, man, you gotta work that through. John, if you want to come on, I can send you the link to come on here and we can show your stuff, or you can message me on TikTok and I can download it and you can walk us through it, whatever you want. We're just talking shit and I'm making the Havoc staff finally. And this thing looks wild too. But see, can I ask you a question, Cole? Like, what makes you feel like you should work out every day? Because
Andrew
let's
Tate videos. I'm not even gonna lie, Andrew Tate videos.
Hey, him and Goggins, you're like,
I don't know, man. I went down that red pill thing for a second. Like I'm back now. Like not totally back.
never
but
come back.
I'm back in a good way. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm not like mad anymore when I watch his videos, you know, because I think that's the triggering response that they're trying to get is to make men mad. But like I watched a lot of those, I went down that rabbit hole for I don't know, probably a year. And I just one day I was like, I need to fucking work out. And even a little bit of Joe Rogan, because I do listen to a lot of Joe Rogan, you know what I mean? All that red light therapy and all that bullshit, the ice baths. I don't do all that, but like I just listen to all this like bullshit that is just like, oh, I'm getting older, you know what I mean? And you know, I don't want to be fucking on my deathbed in my 50s, you know what I mean? I want to be there for my kid as he gets older and starts doing all his life milestones, you know. So I'm trying to prolong my life, you know. So and just get my shit together. Like the Andrew Tate videos really did do. Like I know everybody's like, oh my god or whatever, but like it really did a good thing in it changed my entire brain chemistry in a way. It was like, like I need to like get up and work, you know. I needed to do something. I need to stop being like lazy, sitting down, fucking drinking all the time and smoking and just laying in bed, you know. I need to go out, get work done, come home, work out, eat something good for me, you know, and build towards a goal of whatever goal it is in my life, you know. So it really did. This past year, I've really done a lot of brain chemistry changing.
That's when you got to know me and Dino.
It is right. Well, I mean, I've known you longer than that, but like,
so
you know, I did take y'all's information seriously as well, you know.
And listen, and this is the thing is like when you like we try and talk as men amongst men about that kind of shit, and we try and be like, at some point they're like, homo, but like we're also trying to, like, for the fasting and stuff that I do, I'm like, yeah, that's a perfect way to reset like my metabolism. If you look at the bottom of the screen over there, that's how I used to look. That was like peak Dino in a tuxedo. Okay. Now
Which
I
is
look
crazy.
like
That wasn't even that long ago, you know? Like,
it's
you
not
really
not that
trimmed
long
up
ago.
quick.
There's rumors of gastric bypass surgery. But we're not going to go there today.
No, I can show you the scars. I only have a gallbladder removal. And even that I regret.
I did too. I had my gallbladder, the laparoscopic thing. It was weird.
Yeah.
I wonder why they take every fat guy's gallbladder out. What the fuck's
Yeah.
up with that?
Oh, it's because so I can still have like a half moon above my thing up here, but you can't see
I
the other.
just like I got like a scar here, and a little one. It's just tiny. It's really tiny. You can't even notice it anymore. I don't think it was like fucking 10 years
The
ago.
one on my side you can't see. There was one up here that like it looks like a little bit of mark, but the one above my belly button, that's a upside down like a frowny face. That one still shows, but no, like listen,
How do you know when you need it taken out? Like, what was the signs?
pain.
Like, like where and like how much?
So here,
Yeah, it was right in here.
like at the bottom of your
Like,
rib cage,
Right
on
under,
angle.
like kind of right under your whole fucking titty, pretty much.
No.
Yeah,
So
it was
think about it this
right
way.
here.
Your bottom of
Middle.
your ribs on the right hand side, halfway between your sternum and your side. So like right here, at the bottom of your ribs, like right kind of beside your stomach, that area.
You ever like strain yourself like this and you got a pain like right centralized? It's
Yeah.
kind of like that.
And it goes from the front all the way to the back, like a line going through, going boom, 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 boom.
Oh, well, I'm good then. I'm all
Yeah.
right.
So
Well, I mean, you don't need your gallbladder. I mean, many people have the gallbladder out. It's nothing.
Right.
technically, so
Anything removed, even the appendix, nothing. You know, like a lot of the stuff that normal people kind
I
of
still
get
got
rid of.
mine.
yeah, the whole thing is that with the gallbladder, it helps you digest fat properly. So
Right.
do you need it? Yes. Is it necessary to live? No, because your liver still produces bile. But yeah, it's and that's why, like, in this kind of stuff, in this day and age, you're like, bro, that's one of the things, like, I'm trying to reset. Like, I've never had a metabolism that you could track. It's too slow. It just barely moves.
Well,
right?
I mean, the metabolism thing is an excuse for a lot of people.
Sure.
I mean, it's common sense what to eat and what not to eat, and calorie. It's literally simple math: calories burnt versus calories intaken. If you say it's anything beyond that, you're kidding yourself. It's literally that.
There is more to it, right? Because listen, you got to remember too, is there's a lot of what's the word for it? Like, if you actually take the time, like, especially as you get older, like, that's a whole other factor to consider. But when you're young, yeah, calories in, calories out, there's it. And drink water. Like, it's
A little bit of too what went into my whole like philosophy change too was like when I was a kid, I was a basketball player, I was a boxer. So like I was like, I'm not gonna let like the 15-year-old version of me like outbeat me in life. You know what I mean? Like, like I'm a grown man and I'm letting myself peak in my teenage years. Like, fuck that. You know, like
that's one of those things. Hey, John, can you send that link to me on TikTok? And I'm gonna pull it up because I can't pull it off of this system because
Yeah, here, I'll do it and drop it in the private chat for you.
can you? Oh, bro, you're awesome. Thank you. But like, yeah, man, like that's it's a weird thing. I like right now, I am, for lack of a better term, in the best shape of my existence, which is fucking terrifying, right? Like, because I'm 43 and balding. But
I mean that's a good thing though. This is the best time to change, you know, because like I feel like once you kind of hit that 50 is not too late, but like once you hit that 50 and you haven't done shit in the first 50 years, it kind of is too late. You know what I mean? Like it's the damage is done, you know.
the damage, it's permanent. Like that's it was funny because even when I got the genetic marvel, you look amazing. I mean, she has to say that contractually. That's not doesn't, that is a
She's like, you look better than when I met you.
That's true though. Like I have less hair, more wiener. So
women don't really give a fuck about the hair as much as they pretend.
like it is
That's
a
more
self
us.
thing, yeah. Because guys are like, I'm losing my hair.
Well, dudes, do we really care? I mean, besides the occasional random horrible colors, do we really care about chicks' hair, like nails either? Like they spend all this money on nails. Like, why so much money on nails? And
I mean,
know
we care about hair. I mean,
my
if
wife
you have
got
no
mad at
hair,
me.
that would be
Hey,
like, you're like, why don't you have hair? Are you dying? Like,
that's also too, right? Like, I think it's a good thing when people are like, oh, you're like you actively shave your head, and then they're like, yeah, okay, that's fine. That's a thing. Right?
yeah, I've dated bald chicks, but it was just like their whole
Yeah,
whatever
what
shit, you know?
your identity. Like, are you joking? Because hey, like even like walkie talkies are neat. He was like, you should try it, see how you like it. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm not sure if I will just be if I'm gonna be that guy or not. Tough one, because like I still have some hair, and I'm like, I like having hair, but you know, is it necessary? No, but it's a pain in the ass. But God. You know what also is a pain in the ass? Opening these fucking bags. So these are, just so everyone knows, this isn't Lego. This is mega constructs, because it's licensed for He-Man stuff. Like, this is actually legitimate. Which at the same time, I probably could have got it for like $7 on the internet if I got it from China and it was Fego. But I'm stupid. So
Fago,
yay, capitalism.
not a connected show. Fago's a pop.
Yeah, listen, some of the, like, now Fego used to be really bad. New stuff is actually pretty legit, and actually really like the user for the link should take you to the written version of I Know Here to Follow You. I have it here, sir.
I mean, if you're gonna broadcast you doing it on YouTube, you should get the name brand shit.
Yeah, well, you know, I think that's reasonable, guys. So John writes stuff on Reddit. It's there. It's I Inherited a Fallen Angel, which, by the way, I've seen a couple people do, like, you know how they'll have like weird pictures and do like the auditory thing. I want to get into this of the voice acting and stuff like that, because I'm like, I'm pretty sure I could do good stuff, but at the same time,
bro, voice acting would be so much fun. I want to get into that, but I don't know how to get into that at all.
I'm actively trying right now. Like, no joke. The problem is a lot of times they're trying to be like, oh, so you have to pay us $100 a month, and then you get access to it. You're like, eat my ass. Why don't you do your job?
That's in every entertainment like job.
So aggravating.
There's that type of people. I've had people tell me like, they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna get you on like a traveling tour. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And they're like $1,500. I'm like, go fuck yourself.
You're like, wait, no, I'm not. No. I'm good enough. You know why? Because you want to sell me. That's how I know. So I don't want to do any of that shit.
Well, at the end of the day, you got to make your own shows, bro. Too many people just don't know anything about business. I heard a comic once, a mutual friend of all of ours. Well, he used to be way back when, but he once said on Facebook, if a show breaks even, that's a good show. And fuck that mindset. That's a loser defeatist mindset. Your show's not making hundreds of dollars. You're fucking wasting your time.
Yeah, I'm in agreement of that.
Listen, it should, like, look, minimum, it should cover your expenses of the day, right? So let's say food, room and board, gas. I always try and tell people, like, so there's a growing trend of people who try and say, oh, you have to earn X amount of dollars per day, and that will get you to your goal of $100,000 a year, 10,000 months, whatever it is, right? Which you're like, okay, I understand what you're trying to do, because you're trying to break it up into smaller steps. However, also that becomes, it also is cumulative, and it's very frustrating. It can drive you crazy. So, like, listen, your expenses per day, like, if I have a bill, I can split that up into 28 days, because every month has 28 days. You got to remember that. So that way, technically, every month you have 3 free days of living, up to 3 free days of living. So if you break it down to 28 days, it's how much do you have to make every day of 28 days of a month to be profitable. If that, and that's like, look, $3 towards this bill, $3 towards this bill. This is internet. Da, 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 da. That's how you actually budget things, people. And if you don't, well, you're gonna hurt a lot more.
Or you just do whatever and hope you got enough to cover it and just keep rolling.
Nah. Good luck with that.
You just don't have expensive taste. If you don't have taste out of your zone, you're fine. Like most people like me, dude, have a fucking pickup truck, have, you know, all this Harley. I ain't got none of that shit. I ain't got time for that.
Also, you know what? Like, realistically, I love the idea of having toys and stuff, but also, bro, rent it. Rent your toy and then give it back. Not my problem.
Right.
I can post the graphic novel TikTok vid, but it's going to be part 1 and part 2 spin-off series. Bro, absolutely, John. Post it. And yeah, because listen, that's the one cool part about. I think that's the one benefit that we have of being able to have stuff like this is that everyone can build their own content and do it. All you have to do is just do it, because ultimately it's just okay. I'm entertaining. We're just having a good time. That's a fair thing.
Hey, Cole, ask Jack what he would name himself if he got to choose it.
What would you name yourself?
That's a good question.
Take your headphones off. Take your headphones off. Do I talk to you? What would you name yourself if you could choose? Give me something weird. I don't want to tell you. He doesn't want to tell me.
The YouTube life is good when you're making all the views. When you're on Dino's channel, it's fucking you're too good.
Yeah. Dino can go eat shit. That's fair.
Hey, this guy's fucking Steve-O all together. Your son's Steve-O, bro.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's fine. He's Jacko. He's now Jacko.
Jacko, yeah.
Jacko. I used to. Yeah, as a matter of fact, that's his initials. Is Jacko.
Well,
Jack. Jack. Oh, I'm not gonna tell you what his real last name is.
Are not stream chat friendly, bro. You know what? That's true. There's a whole thing. But you know what? Check out John. Post your because I know Cole had done it a while ago. It's John
Dream Venture.
Dream Venture. Which, by the way, it's a fucking solid name, you prick. Fucking solid, you bastard.
You can definitely tell he does shrooms.
Oh yeah. So what do you guys? Okay, now Joey, you don't like shrooms. You have some, but you don't like doing them, right?
Yeah, I don't like this particular strain I got, so I'm just kind of sitting on them. But I do like shrooms. I mean, a good shroom. Yeah.
Do you guys want to do a live stream? I'm happy to do it on my channel. Of like me off my tits.
Oh yeah, dude. When you're on shrooms, it's fucking content itself. You're so creative that you don't even need to write anything down. I mean, I did an entire stream from the couch called Balls High, and it's literally I typed it Balls High, and I was just sitting on the couch 2 hours. And it was fucking some of the best content I've ever done. I like honestly, it's like it's Sunday today. I don't want to have to do stuff. I want to do no stuff. That's what Sunday's about. No stuff. All right. I'd have to have the family going though, because I don't want them fucking. Hey, I ain't right to the store. Hey, shut. I'm not trying to hear that when I'm fucking shroomsing. Guy. So, well, I told you this, Joey, how my wife kind of like came in while I was like 3 hours into a 7-gram trip, and like, bro, I was like, yeah, you can't do that. And she's like, why not? I'm like, because Jesus, son of a bitch, don't do that shit. It was pretty funny, but she knows now, so that's a good thing. Because I'll tell you, I have 7 more grams of shrooms that I kind of want to do, but I don't think I'm doing them today. I might do them later in the week. John, you want to come do shrooms with us online? Because I think it'll be funny. Because, like, bro, when I did them,
drug addicts.
Oh, you know what? You can fucking eat shit. How about that? Anus face.
Like I don't get plastered every Tuesday.
Touche.
Which is a weird day.
Which is a weird day to get plastered. That is fair. It is. Mind you, if you're gonna do it, do Tuesday. That way you have the whole week to recover for the weekend. That seems more responsible to me. Maybe I'm an idiot. I don't know.
That is the hardest part about the lifestyle changes I've made. Is like now I only drink on Tuesdays. And so, like, when Friday rolls around, I'm just sitting there like, bro, I got all that vodka just chilling in my kitchen.
I get that.
Calling my name.
I 100% understand that.
I have to, and that's also where I've become very creative too, because now I'm like, I'm trying to distract myself. I'm trying to find other shit to do with my life, so that I don't just get drunk, you know.
It's a horrible thing that you're like, it's the right thing, sucks. Absolutely sucks. It's one of those things like Victoria gets mad at me and she's just like, we could do, just enjoy yourself. And I'm like, I've been around me. I don't like it. It's
right. That's I didn't think, I never thought I was an alcoholic until I stopped drinking. I was like, oh shit. Like,
Yeah, you're like, this
Oh.
is horrible. I don't like doing this at all. I'm like, am I like this all the time? People are like, yeah, and I'm like, ugh, God. When you actually have time to like think and read, and you're like, oh yeah, highly don't recommend.
absorb information.
Ooh, the worst.
And that's also how I found out. Like, I don't care when people talk sometimes. When people are like, telling me a thing, and I'm like, I don't.
I mean,
I literally do not care. Like,
that's not on you though. Like some people need to get better at communicating. Just in general, they're not good. They're not good at all, and that's definitely an issue. I think some people just realize that they can't. Like, you gotta just fucking figure it out, right? Like, you can't always be drinking. That's for sure. But
yeah.
at the same time, you're like, you got to fill your time up with something. Otherwise,
I
that's
feel
not
like I
gonna go
gave it up at the right time too, because I feel like I there are times where I drink every day. There are times where I would say definitely 3 or 4 times a week.
drinking every day.
And now you
Really
hit
bad.
30. I don't think that's as acceptable as it is in your 20s. You know,
It's
in
not
my
even that-
personal
it's-
opinion.
It's not necessarily that it's not acceptable. It's just not good for you. It's
It's
not like,
definitely not good for you.
it's definitely not good for you. But that's one of the things. Like, a lot of people don't realize. You're like, yeah, you gotta like figure that shit out, kind of on your own. But you never really realize, like, drinking. Like, Joey, did you ever? Were you a like daily drinker or no?
Oh yeah, I was drinking 18 to 24 beers a day, dude. That was insane. I was next level, dude. I would fucking throw down. Ask anybody who's known me prior to like 2018 or so. Yeah, it was wild.
How? Okay, is that when you started just smoking weed instead?
Well, no, I'll give you the history. So
Let's go.
I first started drinking in high school when I was a freshman, and like I think it was 92. It's 1992, and then we had this store. I grew up in Cleveland, obviously the city. So back then it was a lot looser standards. I had a mustache, so I looked older. They never carded me. I just go buy beer all the time, and I was drinking a lot, dude. By the time I was a senior, and I was drinking malt liquor back then, and my St. Ides was my drinking choice.
Oh, you hated yourself a lot.
I was
Dude,
an MD 2020 guy in
The
high school.
summer after I graduated, I mean, before I went to Steelers, I was pounding 4 or 5 40s a day, dude. I was getting stupid with it.
Yeah.
And then I got a DUI before I went to the basic, and I got back. I still drank. I drank for another while, and then I had another DUI in 98, and then I quit drinking for like a year and a half. Then from like 01 to about 05, I just fucking throttled. I was in college then. I was just pounding beers all the time. And then from 05 till about 2010, I didn't drink one drop. Not one drop. Then I got back from Iraq, and I started drinking again because I was bored. I was still in the service, so I couldn't smoke weed then. Then I retired in 2015 from the service. That's when I started smoking weed. And I quit drinking again in 2018. I haven't drank since then, but I smoked weed ever since then, 2015. So I'm coming up on my 10th year anniversary of smoking weed next year.
Fair enough. See, I think I always go back to the fact that
You haven't even been smoking weed as long as I have. That's crazy.
yeah,
I mean, I smoked a little bit in high school, once or twice when I was in, but I mean, I regularly, it's not been until 15.
but it's a big deal. Like, you can't do that when you're enlisted, right? Like, you're
Yeah, they boot you.
get fucked up, right?
I only
Yeah,
got
I guess
drug
that makes
tested.
sense.
I mean, honestly, I probably could have got away with it most of the time. I was only drug tested like 3 times in 20 years, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's you get busted once, you're done. So it's not, We would have guys who would do it like right after the drill weekend, if there was a little bit of a break, because weed's out of your system after a while,
Yeah.
That's the fucked up thing about drug tests is like it just seems like they're going after potheads a lot of the time because like every other drug is out of your system in days, but weed stays in there for like a month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I still have a problem with that shit. But like, I don't know, man.
Well, because weed absorbs into your fat cells, where everything
Everything
else
does.
goes right through your bloodstream.
No,
Well,
but
that's why, like, people in the service, the Army guys, they didn't smoke weed. They would do cocaine because they knew it would be out of their system over the weekend.
it's 48 hours. Yeah, 48 hours is gone. So I may have done one of the horns wrong. So it goes on here, but I think I did it wrong. So I'm doing the next one to try and figure it out. Just so
Can we see the box? What's it supposed to be? Oh, the top of the evil skull.
That
Yeah,
looks like
it's the entire
Um,
staff. It's
what is that? The Pick of Destiny.
No, the
It is
staff.
not the Book of Destiny. It is Skeletor's
Staff
Havoc.
top. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Like a really, really.
But
big
actually, it comes like I have to build a staff as well, so it's a whole thing. But
Dad, close the door when you're taking a piss.
I do that. I leave the door wide open.
I hate that.
I hate it too. Like
I had
so much.
growing up with siblings. I'm like, bro, my bedroom, my bathroom was always door closed, always door locked. Be like, why? Why do you do that? I'm like I'll go to somebody's house and it's just like one other person. I've had a roommate that she was like, did you lock the door when you went to the bathroom? I'm like, yeah. She's like, why? And I'm like,
oh, you have to. Where I grew up,
I'm like,
with 6
safety?
other people, 7 other people in the house.
well, she's like, what? You think I'm gonna barge into the bathroom? I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I do. I do think
I'm like,
that.
I'm in a room and I'm vulnerable. Like,
I have
bro,
trauma. from that.
hilariously, there's an article where it's like tips you can use if you go to jail, and that was like, if you go to take a shit or a piss, take one leg out of your pants so when you're sitting there you're not hobbled if somebody comes in. I'm like, I did that in my own fucking house, bro. I'm like, that's okay, all right, now I know.
The whole leg out.
Yeah, take one leg
Ain't
out
gonna
of the
get-
leg, so if they have to, like, you're just gonna wang out and have pants on one leg and just
Okay, but that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense because, like, what if somebody comes in while you're trying to put your pants back on? Either way, you're hobbled. Either way.
But you have, like, if you're ready, then you're checking things out, and you be like,
You're
put
just
one
like,
leg on and bam,
your
pants
leg
up.
in, and you're like, fuck.
Hey,
Can you imagine those?
Have you ever
Somebody tapping you on the-
accidentally opened a commode door and there's somebody sitting there? Does that ever happen to you?
Yeah,
All
yeah,
the
of
time.
course.
I've had that, yeah. And even I remember once I did it. It was a chick in the guy's bathroom.
What
I'm
the
like,
fuck?
what the fuck are you doing in here? She's like, I had to go, and I'm like, all right, weirdo.
Couldn't
I
have
just walked
gone
away.
fucking, like, what, 6 more inches to the right? Like,
It's not even that, but like,
to the
bro,
women's
like,
restroom?
I feel bad for, like, okay, look, I feel bad for women that use a men's bathroom because you're getting piss on your asshole. That's gonna happen, right? But like at the same time, I traditionally, like, I usually sit down because I had a lot going on down there, and I'm just like, I'd rather take a little break. I'll sit down and piss.
If
And
it's a high guy, if it's a generally guy crammed the bar, I have no problem using the women's room.
No,
McKenna's, there's this bar McKenna's used to go, so I must use that fucking woman's bathroom 10 times.
bro.
But I used to,
Also,
me and this
women-
one girl used to go to the gay bar because we were kind of on the low, like on the, like, we didn't want anybody finding out about the relationship. And I would have to, just take a shit right in the middle of the bar. And I was like, I'm going to use the women's bathroom. I'm not waiting in that line with all them gay dudes. So I would post her at the door. She would just stand guard. I was going there and fucking light it up.
yeah, I feel like they should have, like, if in a gay bar, you should be like, you should have 3 bathrooms, like one for gay dudes, one for just dudes, and one for ladies, right? Yeah, because everyone's gonna be fucking in the gay bathroom. There's no question, or the ladies'
Right.
bathroom.
Right, the glory hole bar.
I mean, business is business. Business goes good. People are
It just
here.
goes back to that John King story I told last night.
Which John? I wasn't there for that.
You weren't there for that. Oh, so I was doing. There's this older, probably in the 70s, black comedian in Cleveland. He's been
Yeah.
he's a street comic. You know what I mean? Like, he's been in Cleveland all his life. He doesn't travel. He just does comedy and mics and stuff in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And we're doing a show together. And he's knocking on the bathroom door, like, hey, dude, you've been in there a while, blah, blah, blah. And there's a line. I'm right behind him in line. We both got to take a piss before the show. And out comes 2 fucking guys, maybe about my age, maybe a little older. And John King, being an older black man, just kind of like looks at me. All the fucking blood just drained from his face, too. Like, because he's an old black man. He doesn't, and he's just like, there was 2 of them. And I didn't want to be the guy to, like, break,
2024, bro.
Pride in June in 2015 and all of the progress that the gays have had recently. I didn't want to break the news to him if nobody's done that yet. This is only like 2 years ago. You know what I mean? When this happened. So I didn't want to be the guy. I'm not the guy to fill you in on shit, especially if you are obviously, like, not ready for it. So I just went, and then he was like, oh, thank God.
Like, at the same time, you're kind of going, hey, okay, bro. So, welcome.
Which it
to the
totally
future.
could have been. They could have totally been just, doing coke together, but I don't think that's what was going on.
Yeah. Like that's a real thing, right? Like
the particular area we were in is like a younger bar crawl area. You know what I mean? So like gay shit's going on for sure.
100%. But that's like, look, in this day and age, there's a lot of gay shit going on in general, which
Nothing wrong with it. It's just you're gonna have to accept it if you haven't yet. You know,
it's that whole idea. Remember, Tom Segura did that bit where he walked into a bar and a girl was just fucking going at her, flicking the bean at the bar, and he's like, "Can you do something?" And they're like, I told her to stop. You're like, call the police. I couldn't whip my wiener out. Why are you getting it on? Like, it gets weird, right? Real quick. But at the same time, people are weird.
I told her to stop.
You're like, what? That's not how that goes. Because if a guy did that, oh, you're dead. It's not. Anyone who thinks that it would be otherwise, you're like, no. You're definitely gonna get the shit kicked out of you. That's for sure. That's number one, and then from there, I don't know, and I also too, like, black people are very different around gays. It's a lot more intense of a situation.
Well, older people in general, and then also black people, like especially older black people.
Oh yes,
they're like, nah, they're not about it.
Yeah, well, and also too, like a lot of older people in general are quite rambunctious when it comes to their commitment to a certain moral code, not for their children, just in general.
Which is also crazy. It's like, dude, nobody else made the oath that you've made to your God. Like, just chill the fuck out. Like, you wanna have that opinion, you have it for you. Don't be gay then.
I mean. Yeah, well,
don't get an abortion. Like, do whatever you want. Don't make other people do it.
Yeah, there is there's a lot. That's a lot going on, right? But people don't realize, and they're like, well, no, you should have the same. Like that's the thing with like migration and xenophobia and stuff like that. Is people are like, well, you don't obey the same God. You're like, okay, but do you obey your God? No. So why are we arguing? It's like. People aren't religious.
We have church and state, obviously, like, which is 100% should be always a thing. But then you also have you should have to follow the rules of my God and my beliefs because I believe them. What the fuck is that sense does that even make?
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, that's crazy.
We should all have the same. We should all follow the same set of rules that we all agree on, but not because you only believe them. You know what I mean? Like, don't steal, don't kill. Those are general awesome facts, but like anything else gets pretty murky, you know?
Oh yeah, it's one of those things where people take it so seriously, and you're like, hey, I don't think you have to do that. That's not a thing, right? But then they just want to. Well, no, I have to. You? I don't think so. It seems like an odd decision to make, but. I don't know. Were you guys ever religious or no?
Oh,
yeah,
my mom.
I'll get back to you in a second. Hold on.
My mom's very religious, and she raised me pretty religious. We were like Baptists. Although she said we were Methodist now, but like I don't think so.
Do you know what the difference? Do you know what the difference is?
No,
that doesn't matter. Like that's She also too like. I'm kind of surprised that you didn't come out immediately with like, we used to handle snakes. Like that would be snakes. More. Yeah, we're snake handlers. There you go. That's more religion I see up your alley, sir.
I'm still Catholic. I'll always probably be Catholic. I don't. It's been a minute since I've been to a mass because me and my dad used to go. And I bring the kids and stuff. That was kind of our thing. Yeah. And I just kind of I don't know. Since when the pandemic, I didn't really go. Obviously, nobody could go during the pandemic, and I never really picked it back up. I might at some point. I don't know. It's I don't know. I mean, going to church high is pretty cool. You get to organ music. You sit there and space out. It's really fun. But you gotta have somebody to go with, and the wife doesn't really like church too much. So
really interesting. Interesting. That's one of those things where you like even like Victoria was I think she was Protestant. I don't know. She went to a religious school when she was like up till grade 9, and then she came to Canada and then stopped. Which I'm like, yeah, I get that. It's because it's fucking horrible, but. What are you gonna do, right? I don't know. What else you guys got going
on? Me and Atlas are doing a history show.
I'm excited for that, by the way.
Well, you're gonna Yeah,
I'm,
help on it too. So
I am going to help on that. That's I'm going to be in the background, cutting, bobbing, and weaving.
Why don't we do a Cleveland old crime show? I got all kinds of knowledge about
Bro,
dude, I
Hey,
would do that
history
with
of
you because
Cleveland?
I know so much about Danny Green specifically,
well,
and I've been to a lot
not
of the places and shit.
Well,
I would do that
Danny
with you, bro.
Green's good. We always got the torso murders, but there's other stuff like the crimes I knew that I saw or people I knew or something like that. That'd be a fun thing, man. That'd be a cool.
If you want to do like investigative reporting almost, like I'll be down for that, Joe.
we
You
just
wanna-
go. We
go
go
on
to the
site
site.
and shit too.
Yeah, we just have a little bit, a quick, B-roll background story. You talk about the case, then you go down to the site where the case was,
Yeah.
and then we lean in close and be like, the body fell cold, dead, right here, and then we just show the fucking parking lot spot and.
It's just like fucking like a white Kia just in the spot
Bro,
in the
Hey.
way.
I'll tell you this much. So
Hey,
we went.
all
I
the
think
things.
I told Cole about this before. Was we did the Jack the Ripper tour, like a bus tour in the UK, and like the first stop, they're like, "Okay, everybody off the bus. Okay, sit down right around here. Okay, could you back up like 3 feet? Oh, back up another few feet. Okay. So this is where the first body found. You're like, whoa, and it's like cobblestone. You're like, okay, cool. It's a lot. Say that much.
Oh, serial killers are pedestaled in this country, and I think they're all a bunch of fucking homos. It is what it is. And that's not literal homos, the figurative 90s homo version. I don't really think, I think we need to quit deifying them and expose some of these people for the evilness that pure evil they were and
That's
are.
how I feel about school shooters. Like we're just giving them like a platform almost to do what they do,
It's kind of ridiculous, honestly.
And make them famous. And I feel like that's a lot. That has a lot to do with why a lot of them do what they do.
But let's be honest. The whole idea that like serial killers in jail have constant proposals and women trying to get in touch with them. Like, yeah, okay, there's a distinct problem with how that works.
Do you know why that is? I think women are sexually attracted to a man that will just murder people.
Well, no, I know exactly what it is, and I've been to those room many times. It's not just a serial killer thing. Women like excitement. They crave excitement.
Yeah,
Serial killers are exciting. Guys who working on the factory line all day for 10 hours and then come home, go to sleep, play video games, not exciting. That's why women like this shit. You could be out there, and that's why, if you want to be a tradesman, that's fine. You get yourself a nice, wholesome life. We want to be out there and be a real player. You can't be in the trades. You can't be in the, these fucking bullshit. You need jobs where you're around women, where you're making money, where you got a lot of free time, you can travel, etc. That's the shit they like. They don't want to sit at home and fucking, whittle. Some of them might. I don't know.
it's a smaller amount. It's a very small, minute amount of women that are fine with chilling.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, they will chill with you, but that shit only lasts a couple of years before they're like,
they get bored.
I'm moving the fuck on, bro.
Women are the most. They have no attention spans. They get and then they get the problem is too with a lot of women, they get gassed up so much, dude. They get posted a picture. Oh my god, absolutely stunning, flawless perfection, beauty, and just a mid picture.
Yeah,
and it happens all the time. So they have no sense of their self-worth. The guys talking to them are just trying to smash. So guys will, and here's a new flash. I hate to spill trade secrets here, but guys will literally tell a woman anything to get some ass. It's just the way of the world. It always will be. Until they fucking get off this pedestal they're on.
And we've all done it, like at some point in life,
Yeah.
If you're alive and you're a man, yeah, you did it.
You've lied and told a woman she was a 10 when she was like a 7 or 6 or 5.
A 4, I'm sure. You're all like, that's the one thing that I'm the most disappointed out of everything is in men, where they're like, "Oh, baby, you're perfect." You're like perfectly obese. What are you talking about, bro? Like, who you trying to gas up? Let's calm down. Everybody needs to take a fucking breath.
I just wish women would understand that. They're like way too into themselves, and I'm like, you've been lied to a lot, probably almost all of the time, right?
Yeah. 100%, right? But they don't know. That's just They like to think they're like, yeah, I'm a 10. You're like, no, fake news.
Well, because tens don't get approached very often. That's how you know she's a 10, because dudes are like, Whoa. You know what I mean? Like,
Theoretically, this idea where it's like, oh, if you're a 10, you don't get approached. Okay, if you're a 4, you don't get approached. If you're a 3, you also don't get approached.
yeah, but
So
I'm
the
saying
people who are like,
10
oh,
gets
I'm
the
definitely 10
same.
because I don't get approached. You're like,
The 10 gets the same like interaction from most men. There's always men who are going to approach either or, but I would say a 10 probably gets the same treatment that like 3s and 4s get. Like, I really do believe that.
Yeah, well, to a degree, yeah. That is,
Which is why you see the hotter women actually are very insecure. The most hot women are always like, "Oh, I'm so ugly," and I'm like, "The fuck did you say?" You?
Bro, I love when girls are like, oh, I have a bad self-image. I'm like, yeah, that's because you're dumb. It's and they're just like, what? And I'm like, yeah,
5 to 7
thinking
are
it's your
like,
look. No,
we're
it's your brain.
10s.
Your brain's
Like, no.
Yeah. It's always hilarious when they try and be like, oh, I'm not that good looking. What are you talking about? You don't have any facial scars or anything. Like, just calm down.
Well, most people, I mean, this is another fucking hot take, but most women are kind of the same. I mean, there's like you're either acceptable or you're not. I mean, it's it's a hard. I mean, I don't know.
Look, but everybody wants to be accepted. Like, let's not pretend that's not the case, right? We all long for acceptance, right? Like the children, they long for the mines. That's fine. That's why they play Minecraft. They need to go back. But it's not just like in general. Yeah, you can we're all weirdos. That's fine. But just stop trying to make everyone think, oh, I'm unique. We're not. You're probably not. More likely you're not. So whatever.
Yeah, it's 200 million women just like you, bro. You're not different.
Bro, it's the same like the guys in high school were like, I smoke weed. You're like, who cares, loser? Like, I remember one guy bragging. He's like, yeah, man, I drank a bottle of Old English. You're like, that's not a prideful thing, sir. That is a failure of your parents and you. You bought it yourself. You couldn't even choose something good. You're a loser. Sorry. If that's all you got, all right, fine. But that's, have better parents. I don't know.
Have better parents.
Have better parents. That's my advice.
I feel like if we had a regular female following right now, they would be so triggered. But
top to bottom, my wife is gonna scream at me later. It's fine. That's okay.
Yeah, she hasn't commented in a while.
Well, she said the last thing was a dig. She's like, yeah, the UK school curriculum is so much better than Canada. That's 100% accurate. That's fine.
Is it?
I agree. Yeah. Because in the British one would actually like care, like they actually gave a shit. And also it was a different.
Aren't the Brits like super conservative though?
Yeah. Listen, that's why
I feel like
only now all the Brits turned into prostitutes. Back in the day, they weren't. They were good people, right? That's why it was the French ladies.
I feel like being conservative and like having a good education don't really mix. Like that doesn't translate.
Conservative. No. It works.
And the one thing the Brits say, they always tell me about America is that they love our sense of patriotism. They love the American flags everywhere. They love how we were together and things. They really like that because there's none of that over there. It's so fractured.
No, so it used to be, and then that got
everybody kept beating them, like in war. Like they kept losing after a while.
Because listen, but that's the whole thing is America is extremely patriotic, and that's why everyone's like, I don't think it's a good idea to fuck with those guys, and everyone's like, why not? You're like, cause they really they don't have the best situation, but in their opinion, it is the best situation.
Even the most left-wing liberal, in their truest, in their soul, is still patriotic. You know what I mean? Like they don't want to. They were to pretend like they're not, but they are.
Oh yeah. Like you can't. Yeah, it's one of those things where you're going, yeah, I understand, but at the same time, you're going like, everyone. Okay, that's fine.
Well, the problem now is that there's no real enemy. I mean, after 9/11, you had a defined enemy. You had 91% approval rating for the president. Everybody was in lockstep with what was needed to be done. But after that, we found out it was a very diverse enemy, not an easily trackable enemy. We didn't know really who the enemy was. So that tends to splinter it. And after, you got 2, 3, 4 years. How long was the Afghanistan war? Fucking 19 years of the same shit. What are we fighting for? Is the old Third Eye Blind song.
Oh, and then now we're manufacturing enemies. You know what I mean? We're trying to make this whole Russia-Ukraine thing, we're trying to make Hamas our problem. Like, it's just nobody wants to deal with that. They're like, no, let them do that.
like,
Like, we
hey,
don't
I
give
don't
a
wanna have
fuck
to-
about that. You know what I mean? Especially when we got our own real serious problems. There's the homeless are just getting like becoming a bigger population. Everything's super fucking expensive. Nobody can afford a house. You know, like cars are ridiculous out of there. Everybody's in credit card debt. The credit card debt has reached $1 trillion. Like,
Which is
you know,
insane.
like,
it's one of those things that you're like, yeah, that's definitely a horrible idea.
yeah, and they're like, oh, let's go to war with Russia again. We're gonna go to a Cold War with Russia. Fuck that, dude. Like,
It's a little much, right?
don't have the money for that. Like, I don't know. Y'all think y'all have the money for it. I don't have the money for it. You know, like, I don't know where you think.
Story. So there's this place my buddy works at, and I was in the guard with. It's called General Dynamics. They're a huge defense contractor.
Yeah.
They're down in Lima, Ohio. They make a lot of the fighting vehicles, shit like that. They have 2 sections to the building, and they're not allowed to talk to each other. One's like Hezbollah and all that, and the other one's like the fucking Israel side or whatever. And they literally same building, making equipment, fighting.
For real.
Yeah, same building. It's all a bunch of bullshit. It is, but I mean, Eisenhower said, "Beware of the military-industrial complex."
There's no question about that.
Sure enough, and well, it's like in America, they love the status quo. Congress doesn't do anything. You know, people are like, oh, this is gonna happen. Nothing ever fucking changes. It just stays the same because bureaucracy is a motherfucker, bro. It is. There's so much paper
100% accurate.
involved with it.
Yeah.
So you basically kind of have to wait out change. Like old people die, 20 years from now, we don't have to worry about boomers. They'll all be dead. So you just kind of have to wait some of this shit out, if it's unpopular.
Yeah. No, that's one of those things where you're going, yeah, okay, well, you got to figure that out, right? You can't just make the assumption that it's, what the fuck did I do?
And if you make them do stuff, then they call you an insurrectionist. But
Bro,
like,
it's the most aggravating is when people are just like, well, maybe it's not, and you're going, what are you talking? Like, what planet are you on? You fucking jack.
I like when you show a news source of something that obviously happened, like it was a deductible fact. They're like, bro, that's CNN. That didn't happen. It's like, bro, this happened. I can show you other fucking networks this happened on. Like, just because it says CNN in the article, fucking brain dead.
Bro, there's too many people who are just like, are you sure? You're like,
well, I'd rather stop watching the news like before Trump was president.
Yeah, dude,
so like back when Trump and Hillary were going at it, I was like, I can't stand this shit anymore.
Hey,
Either side is just ridiculous and revolting.
Oh yeah, no question there.
So when's RFK going to start running or what? I don't even know. Is it gonna be
what is he? What's the whole deal? Like, is he?
He's trying to get on the ballots, and they're like,
how is he not on the ballot?
Because as an independent, you have to get so many signatures per state.
Every state is totally different in the requirements to get in the ballot, and a lot of them, especially the partisan states, like a state that was running by a Republican forever or run by a Democrat forever, they changed it to where it's so drastically hard to get on the ballot. Like in Ohio, you got to have. It used to be signatures in like 44 counties and 5% or whatever of the electorate. Now it's got to be signatures in all the counties and all 88 counties and 10%. It's like such a ridiculously high bar because they only want Democrats and Republicans doing it. They don't want no other parties in there.
Yeah, that's how you fail an entire populace, people.
Mm-hmm.
That's like
for sure. But I mean, why? If you were running something and you were running game on it, would you want competition? You know what I mean? Like that's just human nature. So, like, I kind of can't hate them in a way for it, but I do, still.
Yeah, well, the problem is that their job is to protect the country, and they're failing so miserably. Where you're going like, I respect your hustle, but go into private industry by all means.
The problem is that was their job initially. That was the intended purpose of that job. But we also put those people in charge of everything. Like, there's got to be there's got to be an IA for politicians. There's not one. You have internal affairs for the police. You have the cop police. Why the fuck do we have the politician police? Why the fuck don't we have? Well, there needs to be an investigation, like an internal. Like we got to go after all the IRS, everybody. Every entity has to have like a human resources. Oh,
100%. I don't disagree with that at all. But
well, I mean, they theoretically do have that in the systems of checks and balances. The problem is You know, Trump just, I mean, I hate to invoke Trump. If you don't feel like Trump and this is going to piss you off, whatever, but Trump would just basically, whatever the agency was, you just talk shit about him. Oh, the FBI, they're full of corrupt, whatever. Don't listen to anything the FBI says, but if the FBI was doing work for him, you'd be like, these trusted FBI agents must be listened to. It's all fucking
come on, yeah.
Well, and that's a big thing. That's why, like, I'm not a Trump supporter by no means. Like, I don't think he was, like, the best option. But when he was president, he pointed out a lot of, like, things to people that made no sense, that we didn't know didn't make sense because we were being lied to. You know what I mean? We were like, things weren't being shined on these things. You know,
you gotta do the and then proceeded to do even worse things that he was professing the government.
Yeah, 100%. He did worse shit, but like we knew he was gonna do that. We all knew he's a crook. He's always been a crook.
It's like robbing a bank. It's like robbing a bank, killing all the tellers, and getting a YouTube like, there's a bank robbery epidemic. I want all you to know. You know, you just fucking whacked the bank and got three.
But because he wasn't a lifelong politician, he was like, this is. Y'all know what they're doing over there, right? Like
I enjoy my civil servants as politicians. It's like this. I don't know why in America we came to the point where politicians is the only job where you don't need to be qualified and people like it. That makes no sense to me. Oh, I'm not a politician. I want a politician to be able to run for politics. You need to be able to talk to people. You need to be able to get along with shit. You need to be able to fucking be diplomatic, not just run in the room, say fuck everybody, talk incoherently, go back to your fucking bunker and fucking tweet all day. No, that's not a leader. The guy is not a leader. I don't like
I said, I don't think he was a good president, and I'm not going to vote for him.
He's probably one of the. All three of us right here are smarter than this individual. Here's like, you ever seen a really rich kid? I'll equate Trump. Here's what happens. Think of somebody like Archie or one of those Richie Rich. Remember Richie Rich, the cartoon? Somebody like that, just a spoiled rich kid gets everything they want, never gets told no. All through high school, even if they fail, they just fucking poke them through because their dad's a billionaire. And then they get to high school, do the same thing in college. And then they get in business. His dad died just the right time. He never paid any of his people doing stuff, never really had a viable business, and just kept getting told yes, yes, yes by a bunch of yes men. Got absolutely duck fucking lucky in 2016 with a perfect fucking storm of shit, and still gets told yes to this day. He's the guy. He's basically the guy who's been enabled his entire life. Nobody's ever. If he tells them the truth, he cuts him off. It's a horrible. That guy is vile, fucking vile, and I hate talking about him. I do. I really don't like even talking about the guy because they get some idiots like, "Oh, what about you? You've had."
Yeah, the deflection you get about it, like when you talk shit on him.
Right, you'll be talking about Trump. Like, well, veterans commit 22 suicides a day. What about that? You didn't think about that? Then it's like, what does it have anything to do with anything? Right?
That's like back in the day when Colin Kaepernick was kneeling, and then everybody was like, "My uncle's in the military," and we're like,
"Oh, they lost their mind." You're like,
that's nothing to do with anything.
Like nothing. People lost their brain, and you're just going, "What are you talking about, you nut?" And they got so aggressive, like, "My brother's dead," and you're like, "He didn't kill him. I don't know why you're being angry."
Right. Well, it was funny because if you remember how that started, he was sitting down at first, and then he consulted with some veterans friend or organization, where he was like, "Hey, what would be the most respectful way to do this?" The guy said, "We'll just take a knee out there." So he did that, and people were still like, like, just calm down there, fucking. People get so fucking ate up over this.
So far, here's the Havoc staff, just so you guys know what's happening.
You should get. That is pretty cool. You knocked that out quick.
I am, believe it or not, there are times when speed does become a factor in my life.
He's done like 45 Lego streams, bro. He knows what he's doing right now.
Bro, I have a problem with Lego.
Oh, yeah.
But back to the topic that we were talking about. I think we should just make it a law that you get like 20 free comments a month, and then after that, you get charged like a nickel. That way we keep all the dumb people like the nickel goes to whoever the post is too.
I feel that
so we can generate fucking money, but
I don't think you can actually have a situation where you can just pay to play. I think that's the problem. It has to be. So I was talking about this with Kyle, was the whole idea that people are like, they are living on the principle that, oh, well, I have money, so I have the best lawyers. No. You have to have some sort of actual achievement. Like, oh, I also have a doctorate in like science of some sort. I am like a world-class gold medalist of sprinting. You're like, okay, so you have some sort of physical. I'm a great sword fighter. Great, you can defend yourself. My superpower is I have money. That's not a superpower, you asshole. And all it does
Look
is
at
make you piece
Batman,
of
though.
shit. Okay, but Batman is also like the peak of human existence. So,
You're right. You're right. But he wouldn't have that if he wasn't a billionaire.
I mean,
He'd be the hockey
fair
pad
argument.
Batman. The fake Batmans. Remember all the fake Batmans
He
around?
wouldn't have been able to go into Europe, Eastern Europe, and learn how to do martial arts the way it was originally intended, and then come back and get all these gadgets and pay the dude who got the hookup to shush.
Think of Doc from Back to the Future. I mean, if you have the right ingenuity, you could tinker with some shit and make some gadgets. You don't necessarily need all the money in the world. I mean,
Okay, but Doc's not going to be Batman. He would get beat to fucking bloody pulp the first night. Like there's too many variables for Batman. You can't be a nerd and know how to fight. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I mean, like that's the key, right? Like you have to be able to defend yourself, but also scientifically prove it that they're a bitch. Like those two things make you the superior human specimen.
Yeah. The concept of Batman never made sense to me. I love Batman. The comics are awesome and everything. The movies are awesome. But he's two different kinds of people. Or he's really three different kinds of people. He's a rich fucking asshole.
Yes.
No rich person actually gives a shit. If any billionaire when their parents die, they celebrate. Like,
well, I mean, Batman had caretakers. Batman had a trust fund. He had, Morgan Freeman and Alfred Hitchcock. What the hell is that guy's name? Michael Caine. And Michael Caine and Morgan Freeman as his caretakers raising him. I mean, they were probably enabling him with the billions and billions he had. So, he probably grew up watching, fantasy films and about Crusaders and shit. And is like, I want to do this,
And he's like, and they're like,
Gen Xer. I love how you're a Gen Xer and you immediately go to the Christian Bale Batmans and not the fucking dumbass one with fucking Jack Nicholson. I hate that version of Batman. It's so terrible. It's a fucking cartoon.
Oh, hey, I'm gonna. The Dark Knight not always my favorite Batman film. That might be one of my favorite films of all time.
It's a great movie. Like you take away the fucking comic part of it. It's a great fucking movie.
And it was one of the first movies I had a Blu-ray too. So like the scenes, when they're coming into Hong Kong, it just fucking popped on the screen.
But that's also like those are some great fucking scenes, right? Like,
when he was in the Lamborghini too, and the car chase scene, fuck, that was some good fucking 4K or whatever the hell it was, 1080p or whatever.
And the thing, we had to watch Batman Begins to get to that point because Batman Begins sucked.
It's a rough one, right?
The movie was boring as shit. As much as I love Liam Neeson, that movie was so boring.
But also too, they bastard like that one was not nearly as good as even the Bane one was better than that one. Like that
right. Well, I think that's what I think it wasn't like. It's just like set up. It was all set up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I don't think it was like intended to be its own movie. I think it was always like, we're gonna roll into the Dark Knight next. I think that's because everybody kind of forgets about Batman Begins if you really think about it.
Well, hilariously, bro, he was 120 pounds for The Machinist, and in 6 months, he gained 100 pounds of muscle to play Bruce Wayne.
He actually he gained so much weight that he had to actually lose weight because he couldn't fit in the suit. That's the funny part. Batman Begins.
It was 220. He was 220 pounds, going from 120 to 220 in 6 months. You're going,
Jesus,
bro. That is damaging to your existence. Like, I'll just flat out. Like,
well, then he did Dick Cheney.
Yeah, and you're like, that's why, bro. There's a meme
all over the place.
Tell your girl you look like you have the body of Christian Bale. Just don't specify which Christian Bale. You're like, it's not a healthy version. I'll tell you that, guys.
You want to see the most insane muscle transformation I remember? Watch Ed Norton in Fight Club, and then watch Ed Norton American History X. He put on some muscle for American History X, and he was fucking whatever. He was a scrawny fucking Fight Club, and dude, he was fucking Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah. No, man, he was fucking.
He probably did all those scenes with Brad Pitt. It was like, I got to work on myself.
Oh, 100%.
Brad Pitt was ripped in that movie.
Imagine hanging out with Brad Pitt and seeing the pussy he just turns down.
Yeah, right. You're like, I would like to just get the ones he don't want. Like,
right?
A little bit.
I want to get the ones that don't even get into the club to get the chance to get with him.
That would be sufficient, right?
Not even acknowledged. You're like, yep.
Dude, this dude cheated on Jennifer Aniston in her prime with what's her name? Mrs. Smith. What the fuck is her name?
Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie. Like, you can't, like, that's you went from a win to a win. Like, how do you do that?
Yeah.
You know what gives hope for every comedian, every YouTuber out there to get a fucking banging broad? Do you remember when Billy Bob Thornton and was going out with Angelina Jolie? It was totally gross, but I mean, but fuck, that guy is banging Angelina Jolie, dude. I mean, it's sometimes you just got to be weird, and the right weird person sees you, and fucking hey, you have a fun 8 months.
Like, listen, man, I can't say that principle hasn't benefited me in the long run, but it's not good. Like, there's got to be some limitations because that's just horrific.
Well, none of us are Brad Pitt, though. To be fair, like none of us are ever going to be Brad Pitt in any way.
It was just boring. How tall is Brad Pitt? He's okay. Google.
He's got to be 6 foot.
Brad Pitt is 5 feet 11 inches tall.
Okay, so that's about right.
Perfect. I mean, he's in his 50s too. He probably shrunk, Yeah. So,
hey, have you seen? Have you guys seen Mr. and Mrs. Smith on Prime?
I have not seen the new one yet.
So it isn't bad, but at the same time, it's funny to watch. What's his face? Don Glover.
Gambino, Childish Gambino.
Well, yeah, where he's like, "How tall are you?" He's like 5'11", or no, he says 6 foot, and they're like, he's like 5'11". You're like, oh, and then you look up his IMDb. You're like, he's 5'9". Like, and even then, probably not. He's a little boy. He's a little boy.
Well, yeah, if you ever watched Atlanta, he's the small one of the group.
Bro,
like,
the only Atlanta that I've seen is the one with Terry, the white, he plays a white-faced guy who's like 100% a murderer. It is.
You're talking about the weird commentary on Michael Jackson episode where he's doing the piano and that. Yeah. Dude, that's a creepy ass episode. But look, it's worth the watch. The first 2 seasons, especially the second, the third and fourth season get like a little like overwoke. You're like, sure. I don't know. It's just like it's real preachy, especially if you're a white person. You're just like, I don't want to hear this.
It's profitable, right? So he could do whatever he wants,
right? But like the first 2 seasons is like it really just explains the inner workings of the ghetto, like as you live there. So like it's a very cool show. Those first 2 seasons.
But that's the thing is people need to understand. You're like, yeah, there's a whole world behind whatever world you live in. There's an entire existence that you have no idea of any functionality of it, right? Like it's the same idea. Like I remember one person was like, do you know what EBT is? And I'm like, no. Like, do you even know where your local food bank is? I'm like, no, I don't. It's not, right? But it's different for everybody.
We know what the local food bank is because we've been there so many times to donate and help out.
I mean, that's on you, but that's
I do. I actually pick up a lot DoorDash and drop them off. That's the Greater Cleveland Food Bank.
Yeah, in my opinion,
DoorDashers to drop off shit to people.
The food bank is the only organization that I feel really will make an immediate impact, feed people right away. They don't ask people qualifications. If people want food to get there, they go get it. You know what I mean? They're not gonna, I need a net income summary report. You need to sell your car, sell your house before you get any food. Then no, they don't do all that shit. So that's why anything I do with charities, typically with the food bank.
Oh yeah.
I mean, unless it's a direct benefit or something, obviously that's different. But for just general shit, yeah, it's always going to be a food bank.
That's what I've always never understood about food stamps. The food stamps is such an issue because people are always like, "Oh, welfare, blah blah blah." Why don't you just give people food then? Just give them food.
Literally,
go get what you think these people should get and give it to them. You know what I mean? A week's worth of fucking food every week. Boom, here you go.
We have more than enough to collectively do that, but we will never.
Hey Angie, how you guys doing?
Welcome to the party, Angie and Dorito and Sam.
Dorito's on probation on my channel because he told somebody to kill themselves last time he was on. So,
oh shit,
Dorito, you gotta be good.
Was it me?
No, it was Kyle, and Kyle was like, "Hey man, like Kyle's funny enough to handle it, but at the same time, I'm trying to
know the guy first."
I'm trying to.
Hey, Dino, your hair tuft and fat. Dino is strikingly similar to my old hair tuft before I started shaving everything down.
Yeah, so that's the thing is like I'm like I have it's pretty solid back here. Like if you look, but it's like this has started to happen. But I'm like I used to scratch my head and I told someone to kill themselves. You did, and then you went and got a rope, bro. Like that's a little much. Take a bowl of. Love you, Dorito. Also, you're a little bit mental. That's fine. Fucking hell. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to figure out something. What I don't know. I feel like there's more to a lot of the stuff that we discussed that we could definitely do more, but I don't know.
Jesus. Excuse me.
What's new and exciting there, Joey? Hey, are you gonna do like a baking with Joey channel or what? And then like getting baked with Joey? No, maybe.
I mean, I don't. I mean, there's not really much excitement in my recipe. I mean, I've said it 1,000 times. I just decarb, some weed, and then I mix it up with some butter, and I use dollar store cookie mix. I mean, it's not like this is
They were good.
Yeah, they're great. That's what I'm saying. Nobody's ever had a complaint about them one time. I mean, it's kind of odd. It's like I think I found the holy grail because it's like it's such a beautiful price point. $5. There's no place in town that you're going to get that high for $5.
No.
And the whole batch probably costs me $5 sometimes. I mean, it's not much. I mean, the biggest expense is time, but that's the thing too. People don't want to spend the time 45 minutes simmering some butter, 45 minutes waiting for some weed. Not that it's much work, but it's so much easier. Hey, here's $5, whatever. That's fucking half. That's like 10 minutes worth of work for some people, and then they just go to town.
But that's the whole thing, right? I love Doritos like, oh, I was joking. Thank you for clarifying, sir. It's not that it wasn't a joke. If we were worried that it wasn't a joke, it's more so that you can't be telling people that is because remember, some people suffer from issues.
That triggers people.
Yeah, I'll put my rope up before I pop up. No, you just don't get to pop up today, but I appreciate you, and I hope someday you will when you realize that, hey, that's not okay.
That's like a crime now. If you if you tell somebody to kill themselves and they do, then you can go to prison.
Like that's why, Dorito, I'm not doing it for myself only. I'm doing it also. Hey man, don't do that. Don't do that for you either. You're in California.
I got a funny story for you guys. I got a funny story for you guys along these lines. There's this guy, Jeff Ritchie, he reached out to me. He's like, hey, I got this benefit. I need some comics. And I was like, all right. So I'll come out there and they fed us and all that. And every one of the comics had a joke that said, oh, I was going to kill myself. And this is like supposed to be like an anti-suicide day or whatever. Like people just weren't cognizant. I think, and this is a weird thing to say because I don't like censoring comedy as much as the next guy.
No.
But you got to read the room with some of this stuff. As comics, we really should drop the overt I'm going to kill myself references or you should kill yourself. It's just too direct in this era. It really is. You got to modify it a little bit.
Reading the room and censoring are not the same thing.
No,
in my opinion. Censoring is not like I don't believe in censorship, but reading a room should be a thing in all walks of life.
Sam, Joey, if you want to send Sam a link, Sam, you're more than welcome. If it's your birthday, by all means, please come on. Just and Angie, you as well. But Dorito, you're on my shit list for now, sir.
Eric, help me.
Oh, hey, if you guys want to come over, I mean, I already sent Angie links. Angie said they were on like an off air. If you guys want to combine and come over here, you can do both. I mean, it's an off air. But I mean, either way, we're not going to hate her.
I will. I'll hate you both. That's just how I roll.
Oh, speaking of which, Joey's like weed shit. Yeah. I was thinking why I got them both here. Dino, we should have Joey on for 420. Do a special 420 episode.
Absolutely.
Hammer and Peace.
Bro, I would love to do that.
Joe, are you gonna share your recipes with us?
I've said the recipe 1,000 times. I mean, I can say it again. It's not terribly difficult.
You just teach me how to make. I'll even come over to your house if you want, and teach me how to make. I don't bake for one, but I've never made weed edibles.
I mean, I feel like baking. Like, look, you have a lot of problems with baking, so there would be a good.
I suck at baking so bad, dude.
But some people just like you got to understand. That's not you being bad or not learning or anything. Some people just aren't good at baking, better at cooking. Some people are good at grilling. Some people are great at baking, can't do fuck all with anything else. Right?
Well, I can't follow directions like I could. If somebody tells me you got to do it like this, I can remember it forever. But I can't like read.
Hey, I've never written down the recipe. Hey, listen. The recipe it's a 5-step recipe. You take weed. Whatever weed you want to use in the recipe, I use the formula of half a stick of butter for every eighth of weed. You can do as much as little as you want. You put the weed in the oven, whatever weed you use, 240 degrees Fahrenheit for 45 minutes. You take that weed out, You put it on low heat with the butter. You let that simmer for another 45 minutes. Strain the wheat out. Use that butter in a dollar store cookie recipe. Boom. 12 minutes later, you got your cookies.
Well, I can follow. Yeah, I can follow like box
That's
baking
pretty- yeah.
recipes, but I can't do like if I got to read it off the internet. Like that's how I get a lot of recipes. Is just kind of following the general idea of something on the internet. But you can't do that with baking because I can't do that. Oh, and you got to have ones. I just can't for whatever reason. I can't. You can't be like,
So
and do this, and then you got to do this perfect, and you got to do this perfect. I can't. I'm not gonna do it. It's just
Can
not.
I offer
for
you a
me.
suggestion that because I find the same thing with my stuff is that I lose track and then I get frustrated and stuff like that. Is what I started doing, and I started doing this like when I was like 13. Is read the entire thing like once or twice and
Marty
then
out.
and then then be better, you fucking
so
You already lost me.
you already lost.
Read the entire thing twice.
Like read,
First
get
time.
immediately get fucked. Like I get it, but also that's not
I've been a Cliff Notes guy since high school, dude. Like I don't read. Like get the fuck out of here. Like that's how they taught me. They were like, you're gonna have to remember that this is gonna be on the test. Okay, remember that. Don't remember anything else. Just remember that this is on the test. Remember this. That's probably important. That date. That's a date. That's a number. These are things they taught me how to just analyze what seems important in life in school. That's how they taught me.
My whole take on the reading thing is that back then, back in the day, it's all you had to do was read. There's no 3 channels, maybe even before that. What did you have? The radio before that? Nothing. You sit around and talk with your siblings, so you had to escape. But nowadays, there's so many more options. I mean, you got virtual reality, PlayStation 5, YouTube, infinite apps, infinite movies, everything on demand. No offense, but I don't need to escape reality. I can just click a button on my thing and escape reality. I can go outside and escape reality. I smoke weed, that escapes reality. Why the fuck would I sit there and read a 300-year-old book when I get the synopsis and get the knowledge in my head in like 10 minutes?
Important information, right? And that's what I love about Wikipedia, because it's like it breaks it down
it's
in little
beautiful,
parts of the
right?
part you want, of that thing.
And you don't need not everybody needs to escape reality either. I kind of like my reality. I get high all the time. I have fun with my friends. There's nothing bad at all about my reality. Why the fuck would I want to escape to sometimes a reality that's less exciting than my own life? Read books and these people are boring.
Escaping reality gives me anxiety. If I'm away from the real world too long, I'm like, I got too many responsibilities. I need to be thinking about my next plan. You know what I mean? So like.
And nothing is more real than talking with people, what I do on YouTube. You can read a book all day. I get more information. I'm not going to lie. I've never read any of these guys' books. I say I'll check it out, but I never do. I mean, I can't. I got all the information out of the guy in the interview. What the fuck news am I going to find out in the book? You know what I mean? It's just a different culture. I mean, books are a dead medium, in my opinion. Same thing with newspapers. Like, God bless the people who still buy newspapers, but besides a crossword puzzle and what else even is there? I mean, there's no reason to buy that shit anymore. Same thing with books, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah, print in general.
Oh yeah, it's bad for the environment too. Cutting all these trees, building these books and shit.
No, I'm
you, Joey.
I'm
What the
anti-burn books and get rid of, but we should always have like a hard copy of everything in case the internet breaks down. But at the same time, you're right. Like it is kind of a waste of trees to make all these new books. One hard copy, put everything else on the internet. You know what I mean? Like, what do we need 10 million copies of anything?
Well, even then with the hard copies, I mean, you could just store it on a hard drive, and that could be the hard copy. Like that printed copy could just burn up. I mean, there's no less or more secure than a fucking zip drive.
Well, why not both? It's just fail safe.
Yeah, you could, but I mean, some of these documents. I mean, I'll give you because the VA was up until 2009. My department, the Veterans Benefits Administration, was all paper, like literally 100% all paper. And then they finally digitized everything by like 2016 or 17. But we would have to haul around fucking. Some of these guys have 1,000-page files, bro. Every time you get the file, you have to check out 4 or 5 volumes of paper.
Fuck that.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. The internet is a beautiful. I would argue, some people say the printing press of Gutenberg back in the day was the best invention of all time. The internet is by far the best invention of all time. All humanity time, the internet is the best invention, in my opinion.
I do feel like we're at the end of what they would call, in 1,000 years, they're going to call this the end of the paper age or the paper era. Like the last thing that's gonna survive, and we're already slowly replacing it is toilet paper. Like that's the last thing that's gonna go. That's what everybody's used to, and that's gonna be a hard having a bidet spray up your asshole. I feel like it's gonna be the hard jump. But at some point, we're all gonna do it if society doesn't collapse. You know.
I mean, there's merit to what you're saying, but also you guys have to remember there's been paper throughout history and lost information at some. So every
Well, yeah, the book of or the Library of Alexandria and all that.
every history
Greek
that
stuff
has been
just
that
for
has
you.
been monumental, right? Has ultimately had a period of time that has disappeared through the information age, right? So there's the idea that books are kind of obsolete as well, are one of the last vestiges of being able to communicate and not have information be changed while your pants are down, right? So while yes, that's true, and yes, books can be burned and those are real things, it doesn't make a difference. There's still a huge amount of information that we are missing.
Well, no, yeah,
because
old books
of-
we should always keep. We should always have like a giant library for old books and everything like that. If you want to read an old book from a million years ago, or I don't know, the oldest book is like I think they have the oldest book and it's like 3,000 years old or something like that. So like it doesn't go that far back.
in public access, yes, but there are private collectors.
No, I think that's the oldest book. I looked it up. The oldest book is like 3,000 years old. Like it's oldest. That's because it's like falling apart. You can't even open it. Really,
No,
it's just the oldest in pieces.
Well, that's the other thing with paper too. Is the paper just goes brittle after a while, unless you're going to spend money on the really expensive paper. I mean, the paper copy is just going to fall bad to time and all that. You know.
Yeah. Well.
Hey,
there's
here's
always
a
somebody that
random question
produces
for
in the
you.
book.
Where do they put the, like, say there's a new amendment to the Constitution. There's been one since '92, but where do they have like a paper they write that on or store? Where is like the official storage record of that?
Probably in New York somewhere, or
They
Pennsylvania.
don't do the original one. They don't get out the original one in fucking
No.
you know.
What is
That'd be funny if they did. We have to write on the 300-year-old paper and
about a book is you're able to imagine it in your own mind and it's represented.
That's also a good point. That's a good. There's still like you can't. There is no time in history when books haven't been one of the most important things, right? And also reading as well. I am single, looking for someone who wants to get slapped with my big 38 double D melon. Enjoy with me. Nice, Joey. Thanks.
that was an Instagram message. Some spammer sent me. It just made me laugh.
I find it. You guys get a lot of spam, right? I get a lot of spam, but I don't understand. I don't understand.
I keep all my posts public because I want to, increase visibility. So that increases the spam, obviously. So there's no way around that. But I mean, I check all my pocket messages, the hidden messages and stuff, just to see if because sometimes somebody messages me. I message a lot of celebs and all that, so sometimes they'll go to fucking spam messages, or whatever. So I got to check that all the time.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I check everything just because like I'm nosy. Like like I'm like, ooh, what is this person? I don't even know that this looks fake, but I'm gonna look at it anyway. Like I don't know.
Get some more. I got to refill, so I'll be right back.
Yeah. What? So now, hey, how is being monetized?
I mean, I've made like $20 in probably 3 weeks. So like, and you can't even cash out until you hit 100. So like,
oh yeah,
it's like whatever. It's still the same, pretty much. I'm really just trying to hit the what do you call it? The advertising. That's really what I want. So you need 1,000 subs and 4,000 watch hours, which I'm only at about 700 subs and I'm at like 3,300 watch hours. So like I'm getting close, but probably not till like April-ish, maybe later, May. But I feel like that's when the real money rolls in because you're getting paid, at least a couple cents every time you do content. You know what I mean? Whereas right now I'm just kind of hoping people donate money, which that's inconsistent at best.
Yeah.
So.
No, I get that.
And I think I'm pretty sure my only donors are just Joey and my mom. So I haven't really made any money. Like if you really think about it.
I get that. That's fair.
I appreciate them, and what they do is probably like show that somebody's donating, so other people will be like, oh, he's like, oh, I should donate. You know what I mean? So I appreciate them, but technically, like I'm only making money from my connections.
I mean,
like connections with quotations. So
fair enough. Dorito, I see you, you fat prick. You and Joey are definitely the Doritos in the bottom, and I said, hey, no, you're taking a time out, and still, and Joey knew exactly what I was taking out, and for sure Joey sent him the thing, but that's fine. I'll bring you on anyway, you dirty bastard.
Oh no, Joey told me to come up here. I wasn't.
Because Joey's a fucking asshole. That's why. That's okay.
Yeah.
Let
me go on record first, just to say I would never, ever, tell somebody to do something like that. That was just joking. No, and I would never. I would never mean it. If I offended somebody by doing that, I'm sorry. Won't happen again. I didn't look at it that way. I don't look at it that way. And I just want to make that clear.
I know, but even as a joke, it's become like there's a lot of people who are losing a lot of. One guy got his fucking. It wasn't a TikTok. What was it?
I understood.
You just got the whole thing pulled down, right?
Yeah, understood. Enough said, bro. But it wasn't anything out of disrespect.
No, of course not.
Although Kyle's the one that's on the edge too. Out of any of us,
no, he's not. I'll be honest with you, Dorito,
did I offend Kyle? Kyle, if I offended you, I'm sorry, bro.
No. It was more so Kyle was like, I'm in a very good place. So I'm like, it's a funny joke and stuff, but it's like at the same time, you're like, other people aren't. Like I've been having a thing for the last few weeks. That's my own thing, right? So it's like, hey, I don't have the balls to off myself, but there are other people are, and that's why I don't even try and stay away from the whole thing.
It, bro. I get it.
And, I appreciate that.
And like I said, I'm extending the hand to apologize.
Yeah,
because it wasn't meant that way, nor would I ever. If you watched a stream I did with Captain Bapton, he asked me, he says, "Who would you?" And I said I couldn't do that. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's just it. I'm not that kind of person in that sense. If you're gonna do, like you see me joke with BC last night when I said that,
But, for sure.
Yeah,
it's one of those things where I definitely have. It's kind of I don't get it, but like also I know a few people who are like have had issues with it, and I'm like, it's very perplexing to me because I met somebody who tried that like on themselves, and I was like, I don't know what to do with this situation. I'm gonna just go over there. I'm like,
I totally get it. I just wanted to pop up and say that, bro, that there's and outright publicly apologize.
No,
you ever?
I don't. No, wait, don't.
Yeah,
I'm not. Yeah.
Anything like that ever bugs you, bro? Don't ever hesitate to tell me. That's what friends are for. Okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's why I said it. Because as soon as I saw you were watching, and I'm like, no, let me tell him. Hey, don't be a dick. That's because
you can message me too. Either way, it doesn't matter.
No, I don't want to be like that. That's too far. If it's not entertaining, I'm not gonna do it.
Well, communication is communication too. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. I just didn't want to. I hope I didn't offend Kyle. I didn't want to offend somebody like that.
I like offending Kyle just because Kyle is my friend. So don't think I just like offending people in general.
Kyle is an actor. He's easy to offend.
You got a message?
No, he was a comedian first. He was a comedian first. That is like because if you're an actor and then became a comedian, you're not a comedian. Number one. Number two is you're not even a real person in my eyes. But that's why
you got a message in your private chat.
Who do? Me do? What did I have? Why did you drop me? Oh, I dropped you because you told Dorito to come on, you fat fucking piece of shit. That's why. Asshole. I told Dorito he was on timeout, and you're like, you should definitely go there. And I specifically, you know what the funny thing is, Dorito? Just so you understand what kind of a piece of shit I know this asshole is right here, is I sent the link directly to Cole, and I said, hey, I know he's going to send it to Dorito because Dorito was a fun guy to hang out with. But I'm like, hey, I want to make sure when Dorito comes to the comments that I have a chance to, hey, you did something. Don't do it again. Why? Because I'll have Dorito's attention. But Joey is like,
I fell. Hey, I know Dorito, and I fell on the sword because I thought it'd be best for business for everybody involved. That's why I just sent the link to Dorito.
Hey, and
It's
then
better
he
than if
walks
this
away.
was
He
held
sends me
inside,
the StreamYard, and I go, I don't know if I should come up or not. He goes, come up, brother. And I go, no, I like Dino. It ain't worth it. I didn't mean any harm. He goes, oh no, come. He goes, oh no, he knows. Come and hang out.
And then he proceeds to go, I need a refill, and walks away as soon as he's done that, like a fucking prick.
And to be fair, I said that 15 minutes ago. That wasn't like.
I respect the technique. I'll give you
I've
that.
been
Perfect
debating.
timing.
No, dude, I was debating. But then you guys started talking about the books, and that's another thing too. I feel I'm strong with books. I think books should be there.
Definitely.
I think books are a big part of people's lives, and they don't even realize it. You do when you're a kid,
Yeah.
but when you're an adult, you don't really realize it. How
I've never read as a child.
Hey, even just being able to
I did a
read
lot.
and comprehend. Yeah, that's not surprising. Clint.
Dorito's like, yeah, I can tell.
I'm surprised you can read right now. That's not.
well, there's
Oh,
a lot
I
of people that didn't read.
can't really.
I didn't. Like
I
that was.
the encyclopedia, bro. That's why I go on Wikipedia all the time. I love information. That's why the internet is perfect for me. I just love looking up
You know-
shit, learning about it, and then it's forever.
Yeah.
You forever know that fact, you know.
Right.
That's what I like about books, though. You can open that book and you can dive into that story, bro, and be a part of that story. Like you can, if you have an imagination, and especially when you're a kid, the way it works your brain, bro. If you learn to just
100%.
submerge yourself into it, it's really actually, it's not nerdy, it's bitching.
And that's the thing too, is visual moving media has been one of the big catalysts to a decrease in people's creativity and ability to imagine things. Right.
Yeah,
So like
that is
there
Good.
is
Fuck 'em.
there's
I
a
don't
lot
want the
of evidence.
competition.
Well, that's the thing, is there's a lot of evidence towards that idea of like what you consume visually is very detrimental to your creative ability. Whereas when you read, you create a story in your own, or a visual representation of a story as it's happening, right?
Yeah, but all those fuck faces that are like, the book was better than the movie. Shut the fuck up. Nobody cares.
Yeah, but
Nobody
also
cares.
there's a piece of
What
shit.
you made of it, though, that's the thing. A lot. If you really look at that by the definition of that sentence, the book was better than the movie, then you imagined it better in your head and reading, and you absorbed more of that story than you would of the movie.
So
You
it's
see
your
what I'm saying?
own.
That's what that actually means.
It's your own perception. It's not really.
Yeah.
It's not even a valid opinion.
What is a novel?
Based off of
Hollywood-
you're
What is a
saying.
fiction? What
Well,
is a
Hollywood
science?
also has to cut off shit for the masses. I mean, they have to dumb some stuff
Oh,
down.
well, people are stupid as shit. That's why.
Well,
Listen,
why
let's be
don't-
honest.
why
They
don't-
want to
never
play
have
in
to do
China.
that.
They want to play overseas. They want to maximize profit for all groups involved. They don't want to make it for just people like Dorito, just people like
Well,
me.
I
They wanna
could
make
flip it
everybody.
completely around and say a movie was better than a book. Prime example.
Every movie's better than the book. I don't
No,
care what
not
anybody
always
says.
true.
Every
Prime
one.
example,
Every single one of
Battlefield
them.
Earth.
I fucking
That
hate Harry
book-
Potter, and those movies are better than the books.
Somebody fucking talk one at a time, you bunch of retards. Dorito, what was it you were referring to?
Like Battlefield Earth, prime example. The book sucked.
Battlefield.
I didn't see it.
Will Smith?
Huh?
No.
No, Battlefield Earth, the one with John Travolta where he was an alien and then they had
Oh.
Yeah. I saw the movie first, then I read the book, and I was like, this book goes into gnarly stories and it leads off, but man, it's too drawn out. You
That
see
makes
the
sense.
movie, and the movie was like, it wasn't so much action, but it explained the whole synopsis of the book pretty much when it came down to it.
I
So
don't know.
that was a movie that to me was
Yeah.
better than the book.
Well, like
I
when you
couldn't
can
dig into it because there was too much to it.
when you can cut the fat off of a book, that's a good thing, right? But then like, so actually hilariously, a couple weeks ago, I went and saw, there's a theater that's just outside of the city. It's about half, because I'm like right on the edge of Toronto proper. So as soon as I leave my house and I cross the street, I'm technically not in Toronto. So, but like half an hour away, there's a new theater that is doing like all sorts of old shit and foreign movies as well, but like not weirdo foreign movies. So I just saw Return of the King extended edition in full recliner at this movie theater like 2 weeks ago, and this week I'm going to go see Fellowship of the Ring extended version. And I'm like, bro, that's a great experience, but also like there's parts of the book that they've removed that you're like, they just took out an entire
So
part.
that's actually what I wanted to bring up, was that movie book combination in and of itself. That was the only movies that I also tried to read the books, because right when those movies came out, after the third one, Return of the King,
Yeah.
everybody was like, the books are better, and I was like 10, 11 at the time, so it was like, I was still like easily like, I don't know, like whatever the word is, like influenced. So I was like, okay, I'll read the books. And I read the book, and I was like, don't get me wrong, I hated Lord of the Rings. I still do. I fucking hate Lord of the Rings to this day.
What?
I've always hated those. There's so fucking
love
there are
it.
parts of them that are okay.
Because you're a
Like
bad
the
person.
action parts. Some of it's
Yeah.
very interesting. I really only like it when Gandalf is in it, honestly. Gandalf is in the scene, I'm watching. That dude is fucking awesome. Ian McKellen is a genius.
Because
as far
Gandalf
as
the
I'm concerned.
gay. That's why
But
you're like,
I went and read the books. I was like, these are more boring. How the fuck? These
Fuck
are
your
so
smoke rings. I'll blow a ship.
Well,
Bro.
what I don't get about the Lord of the Rings and movies, like it's like every time that something's gonna happen, something comes out of nowhere that
They
makes no sense.
change the direction. They go somewhere
Right.
else.
There's
It's a
no-
full movie.
Yeah, there's
It's
no
a different
consistency
scene all
in
of a sudden.
I
And
got
I
my
know that's
blog.
wild because I like movies like Star Wars that have glaring plot holes as well. But it's like, you know, it just doesn't. It doesn't make any sense. You got maybe you got to have an imagination. Maybe you just got to appreciate that shit. Yeah, I don't know. I just I never cared for either
What
one.
everybody's losing.
Lord of the
Like
Rings
Gino
or
said.
well, I mean, it's also a dog eat dog society. You know, imaginations don't make money unless you're really creative.
Right.
Oh,
If you're out there, if you're the one creating the Lord of the Rings, you're making money. If you're the one in, you know, divesting in and getting that stuff in, you're not really making money.
How
off
much
of it.
does imagination and ingenuity have in common, bro?
Imagination. Ooh, that's a good question.
It really is.
Inventive.
You have to have, well, I mean,
Think about
imagination with the good work ethic will
Don't
get you
start with
far.
I.
I won't say that, but if you have only imagination, you tend to be more of a dreamer.
How
and
can
you
you
tend
have
to
any
not.
ingenuity if you don't have any imagination?
You gotta have some
You're
sense
doing
of living in the
same
real
fucking
world.
process.
Yeah.
You
You
know,
gotta have
it's
some sense of living in the
right.
real world, though. You
Right.
gotta have real world thoughts.
You
'Cause if you're
do.
not accepting certain reality, you're never gonna make it.
You
So
can't.
you
Yeah.
gotta have a balance of it.
Oh, there's a wall, bro. You go through it, not over it or around it.
I mean, there's that. Listen, there's it's the same idea where we're in a society that is governed by accountants, right? Where you're going, it's not in the budget, then change the budget, right? Like it's that idea, oh, we can't afford to have more people. Oh, then we're failing. That's it. Or you know what? Let's start paying cunts as much as they are definitely not worth. So I don't know.
You know how many times and this is being from a rigor aspect, that I've had to figure out how to get stuff in. And if you can't imagine it in there and imagine how it's going to get through, how are you going to have the ingenuity to figure it out?
I just want to be very clear that I expect everyone from here on forward, as soon as Dorito comes up, for everyone to say, "What's up, Rigger?" and then stop. Be very. I expect that of everyone in this community to be like, "What's up with my Rigger?" To
What up, Rigger?
Yeah, 100%.
Hey, the funny thing about the rigger, there's an Air Force patch. If you're like qualified to rig loads for air shipment, for like airdrop and all that, it's a airdrop patch and it says rigger on it. All right, it just looks so funny because half the time people are like blocking it. You're like, what the hell? It says
That
rigger.
was 100% one of the gayest things Joey's ever said. Somebody please clip that. It's just like, when you're taking loads in the military, sometimes you need a rigger. Really, Joey? I wasn't aware of that, sir.
You got to guide it in there.
It's he definitely did. That's no, it's
Oversized load.
Tito,
it's just yeah. Sometimes you just gotta, hey, someone else.
Give it
Narrow,
you gotta
tunnel.
And you got to find out when they have the stuff for the kids at the Cleveland State games, bro. It's a nice, cheap, fun day out for Jack and them. I used to take my kids back in the day. They don't like it too much anymore because it's not they age out of it, kind of. But if you got them young kids, the college basketball games will have fun nights for them and stuff.
Wait,
Yeah,
what? I didn't catch all. I didn't catch the
Oh,
beginning.
Cleveland State. You know what? Cleveland State basketball. They're right there, right in the east
here's
side there.
another thing, an imagination. You seen that one viral video where that guy chops that tree down and drops it and with the way he cuts the tree, cuts the pie out the top.
Oh, and it tips out like this, like the.
And then he drops. Yeah, exactly. Now somebody
It's called a
had to
fulcrum.
think of that. How
Yeah.
many years? How long have people been trimming trees and dropping trees and stuff like that and not thought of that? Now that's imagination right there. Because I wouldn't think, like, You're that crazy. You're going to cut out a pie first, and then you're going to get under that tree with the chainsaw and go all the way through it and cut out
And
like
you're cutting a lever. Like,
and then
why?
cut a little 2x underneath it and knock that out, and then just tap the tree.
and it literally on like
Boom.
a piston, like a piston, just and you're going like a lever. Are you out of your mind? And you're like, oh yeah, that's
You know what went through my head that first time? Find 4 parallel trees, cut them all down like that, and that's the perfect foundation for a cabin.
100%, right? Because
It's
realistically,
all
if it's still
locked
attached,
in.
that means you can fill it up. You can do wild shit with that. Even just the actual sap that would arrange after a good heat in that area would lock it down. Like, see, that's the problem is we went so far to like, oh, we're gonna go to the moon, bro. We haven't figured out water yet. Let's calm the fuck down, right?
Well,
Leave it
that's
to the Canadian to talk about tree sap.
But see, that's just it though. The imagination that it took, and then right after the fact of okay, knock 4 of them down parallel. Holy shit, there's a foundation. Could you imagine how much shit people think of just out of stupid little stuff like that? And that comes from the imagination. If you get numb from imagining because it's all there in front of you,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You don't need to think about it. You don't need to think. Then what happens? Hey, your imagination's gone and you don't even need to think about it.
Like, how far have you guys seen Idiocracy?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
of course.
pretty
I got through 7 minutes
That's
and I was
'cause I
like, I will fucking burn this house down if I have to watch the rest of that. Like, I couldn't do
What?
it. It's
I
too
have-
much.
It is
It's too
not.
stupid.
Exactly what we're
Bro.
going for.
It's too stupid. It's
Bro,
too,
I mean, you got to
it's
go
funny.
into it with the mindset of it's, what society would become if it was stupid. But there's some genius moments in Idiocracy.
100% agree with you. However, I cannot burden my mind that will run rampant with that shit. More than like, dude, 7 minutes. I'm like, absolutely the fuck not. I will burn this planet to the ground before I
Is
see
that
that
the
shit.
one where Terry, whoever, or
Terry
whatever-
Tate, the president. Yeah.
I saw part of that, dude, and I did the same thing. Like, what the?
President Camacho.
Is
President Camacho.
probably the greatest social commentary of all time. If I'm honest.
the best is
Fuck
years
it up,
later they
kid, when
explain
it's
Crocs.
released.
I couldn't
So-
watch that movie either, dude. Where he
Hey,
became
so-
president or something like that. I saw that Terry Crews was president.
Hey, the best part was that they had to design shoes, and they're like, "Hey, what's the dumbest shoe that we can have?" Everyone is wearing Crocs. It wasn't until years later that Crocs became popular, and they were like, "Yeah, they're the dummy shoes." That's what everybody. And you're like, "Oh my god, that's for dumb
There's-
people."
The whole thing was too is the dude from the past had to figure out the drought, and that's because like the corporations. It turns out is the corporations were dumping Gatorade on everything. Everything they're using as toilet water. They were using it,
Bruno. It was
Drink
Bruno. Yeah,
or
Bruno was good for
pouring it on
everything.
crops. So they couldn't figure out why they were running out of crops because Gatorade does it. They're like, but it's got electrolytes. That's what the
Like, that's not
corporations
how it
called it.
works, you
And the corporations are running the world. That's the whole point. That's where we are right now. It's the corporations are running
Yeah,
everything. This movie's only like 20 years old. You know, my
I-
favorite part of the movie explains everything in life to me is when the dude, there's a dude and a hooker, and they're both from the past. They both ended up in the little machine or whatever.
Luke Wilson
And-
and Maya Rudolph. Yeah.
Yeah, Maya Rudolph. And the dude, he's like, I can't believe like that we're the smartest people in the world. It's so weird. And then the chick, she's like, yeah, do you think that Albert Einstein that walked around thinking everybody was a bunch of dumb shits? I guess we understand why he made that bomb. Like, I'm like, oh, I was like 10 years old. I about fell off the couch when that happened.
fucking accurate, is what it
Okay.
is.
So we all admit here Crocs are a dumb shoe, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
100%.
Crocs. They're
Okay.
so awesome.
One thing dumber than the Crocs is the person that invented sport mode on Crocs. I'm sorry.
Have you seen the
That's
headlights
dope.
yet, though?
That's a joke.
It's
Yeah,
another.
No, but it is. That's what. Think about it, dude. Sport mode is when you put the little wrap thing up around the Crocs so you can run with them. That is sport mode. Why would they're slippers? Why are you putting a little strap? Then you would call them sandals, but they're not really sandals.
No.
got- Guys, can I admit something to you guys? Can I
All
confess?
right. You are
I'm a
wearing
croc.
Crocs
I'm a
right now?
croc guy. I was
It
distracted.
explains so much.
I was just for
Not
7
crocs.
years. I worked on a kitchen line. What did you expect from me? Like I'm a croc guy, of course. I'm a slide guy. I'm a croc guy. Whatever's easy to put on. I don't like tying shoes. I was very fat there for a while. I couldn't tie shoes, so like it was just easiest.
Hey, whatever floats your boat, man. You got a fanny pack, you got a fanny pack. It's okay. You know, but the whole thing is when it comes down to it is it's just my wife bought me a pair of Crocs once, dude. I don't know where they are. I have not worn them. I refuse.
What size are you?
They're camouflage with the
never mind.
the fuzzy insulation.
Oh God.
They're real tree camouflage with the fuzzy insulation, dude. I'm sorry, but you give me my Nike slips and I'm good.
No, don't do don't do the fleece inlined Crocs. They get nasty like within like days.
That's the
They're
guideline.
they're
They can get real
disgusting,
nasty.
dude.
I've never worn them, dude.
And they make your
Bought it for me,
feet
they look
sweat.
good.
Like your
Really?
feet are on fire the whole
If you
time.
get so hot in slippers. Yeah, I agree. I don't
She
like that.
might have even saved the receipt because she knew I'd be like, really? I'm being honest with you, dude. Because I don't wear. I'm sorry. I'm not a. No. I can understand working in a restaurant.
It's few times I agree with Dorito. I'm with him 100% the Croc thing. It's just that's a no.
I could see in a restaurant because if you're working a line,
But even then, there's so much more fashionable fucking options. They're
No, dude.
Nobody said they were
Right.
fashionable.
bro, who cares about fashionable when you're working on a cook line? Honestly,
be
who
ultra
cares about fashionable? You bounce it back and forth on
I
that
don't know.
cook line. Dude.
But like like plaid
Probably had
pants
trapped into 'em.
and a like a denim jacket with some kind of like baseball cap backwards. Like that's what we all wore. Like that's our Navy uniform basically. Like Crocs.
I mean, I guess they keep good traction on the rubber mats, the floor mats in the kitchen.
They don't have those. That the only person who gets that is the chef and the expediter. Everybody else don't get that shit. The dishwasher too.
I thought you worked on the cook line.
We do. We don't get rubber mats though.
You're supposed to, but
You should.
Yeah,
But
like
yeah,
Denny's,
Well,
like a fancy corporation will, but not no
Per-
fucking like.
per California code, you should have a matted floor all the way down the front of your cook line.
I think that's the same up here. But
Yeah,
Ohio just goes from the ground into your plate. Just-
Yeah, you
I
have to
work-
have
I work
anti-slip.
in Ohio and Texas. They're two different places, okay? And if it is owned by a single person or family, then you're not getting none of the fucking good shit, okay? But if it's a corporation, for whatever reason, they got all the nice shit. You know, I worked for Denny's. I had everything I
Because
needed,
they're worried about getting sued.
but I've worked in fine dining. Didn't always have what I needed.
Oh, that's just an asshole.
Yeah, you should at least have rubber floor mats because of slip and fall, dude. You would think
Fuck, because that's the other thing. They don't care if you slip and fall because most of us are doing coke or weed or whatever. So they'll just drug test you and get you out of there. They don't give a
Those are the
fuck.
best
dude.
kind of restaurants where you're like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and do coke with the chef. I'll see
Yeah,
you
they
guys in a
know
little
you're
bit."
doing coke in the bathroom. They
What's
know
that?
it. So
What's
they
that?
encourage it
What's
so
that
they
ramen?
can
I
fire
mean,
you if they
pasta, will
need
you?
to.
watch that ramen. I mean, pasta, will you?
Right.
You're gonna go to the line in the bathroom.
Well, it's like this, bro. If you give your line chefs, fucking $40 worth of coke a night, and they fucking work like they're working for $36 an hour, and you're only paying them $18 an hour, it pays for itself.
Right.
That's just science.
Hey, and it's a little known secret about America.
I didn't want my steak well done.
Corporate America, legal America, everything. If you work extra hard because of cocaine, they will 100% look the other way in your cocaine use in every aspect.
Mhm.
They will until it starts affecting your performance. If it increases your performance, they will encourage that shit. Best believe.
Listen, all you need is somebody that's a little higher up who likes you and relies on your performance, and you'll never have to worry.
That's why all these dumbasses go like, you should go to work, put your head down to your desk, and do your job. Fuck you. You make friends with everyone up in that motherfucker. Because people don't want to fire their friends, they're gonna look elsewhere.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Fucking Joey.
that's why I get fired because I do not make friends. I tell people to
Right?
go fuck
I
themselves
used
right
to
to the
work
face.
with this guy in
That's
the
why I work for
kitchen.
myself.
Yeah, 100%. That's why I'm trying out comedy and acting because I will tell you to go eat shit and there's nothing you can do about it. Anyway, sorry, Cole, go ahead.
I used to work with this guy. I think his name was like Brian or something. And like he was the funniest motherfucker I'd ever met in my life. And I don't talk to him or anything now. This is like almost 8 years ago now. But like, dude, every shift was hilarious. But like at the same time,
Meth.
I was like always so pissed when I had the same shift as him. He was like, "Why are you always mad when I come in?" I'm like, "Because you don't do anything." Like, I have to do twice as much work when you're here. And he's like, but we're friends. I'm like, kinda. Like,
yeah, we're friends because we have a good time, but I'm trying to actually get paid and not be a slave. So
right.
I'd like you to really. pick up
I'm
your
like,
game.
we're not leaving till midnight tonight.
Yeah,
Fuck.
yeah. That's the thing. And also, like, the one thing I always like, I was a waiter when I was 19, 20, I think. And the one thing that I still miss was the whole idea where it's like, I work, service is done, clean up, I'm out. I don't have to worry about that day. The day is done. I can. Whereas in a corporate environment, you're like, it always just follows you around and dog shit. But
Government work, bro. It's where it's at. Trust me, I tell you.
So I've been thinking of applying to the passport office just to or I have a theory. So I want to become a driving test examiner, and I'm just going to fail everyone. I want to fail everyone. Every person.
Dude, you'll die in that job.
Yeah, there's no way, bro.
I want to be a driving test examiner. I'm going to fail everybody.
Everyone. I'm hitting that. Listen, it's not enough that they're just bad drivers. We have too many drivers. I'm hitting it at the source. You're not passing. If you get me, you're not passing. It's just going to happen. Hey, you have to have perfect, and then I'll think about it. I'll be like, let's go another lap. Let's see what happens. Like, I'll test you out. I'm not going to, because I can't. There's just too many, not only too many bad drivers, just too many people.
You know what I've learned too about that job is it's everybody I've ever known to take a driving test has told me that their instructor or whatever the tester was a woman, which to me explains kind of a lot.
Yeah, because they can't drive for shit.
They're like, this isn't that bad.
After about 3 or 4 years of marriage, my wife and I started playing a game. My wife being of Chinese descent.
Oh, we're getting racial.
Playing a game was when we see somebody do something stupid, they're like, okay, so we know it's a woman because I go about what ethnicity, and then we start guessing, and then 9 times out of 10, I'm right, and she gets very mad about it. Why? Because it's horrible.
Dude, the 8 to 10 hours a day that I stay on the road, when people do ride around with me, I'm like, I can tell you very accurately tell you what kind of person is driving in the cars around me. The age, race, gender, political affiliation, like, it's the craziest shit.
I mean,
everybody drives a certain way almost. Like,
and you know what? And that way is wrong. Just to be very clear.
Everybody does something wrong.
You're all driving wrong.
Every gender, every political affiliation, every age does something wrong. I found.
I want to be very clear.
My key to survival 300 miles a day on the road would be I always try to make sure I'm bigger than them, and I stay away from the trucks that are bigger than me.
Are you a truck driver?
Well, I got a box truck.
Gotcha,
I run jobs. So
I'm in a little Mazda 3, and before that I was in a Honda Civic. So I feel like
I don't worry about cars
experience more. I experience the fear more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's all I got to do. When you guys come zipping around and stuff like that, when you're next to me in that lane, is all I got to do is hit the reflectors 2 or 3 times, and you guys are just like, "Fuck,
dude, that's me. What the fuck, man?"
Yeah, you guys don't. You either speed up or you slow down, dude. 3 reflectors, you're gone.
I also don't like to drive parallel to people. I don't like to drive like in their blind spots, but I also don't drive right next to them. I try to be like where they can see me, kind of. Yeah. You know, so like
people who drive around in somebody's blind spot, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, those people piss me off.
The ones that drive parallel in front of you. You know what my key is to that one?
What's that?
Ramming speed, bitch.
No, not even, bro. You get closer, but you still leave your car space. But you switch over into reflectors. You don't go over, and then you just go like this. You do a little tiny swerve, dude, and then all of a sudden, one car they speed the fuck up, dude. Or they get out of the way, dude. That's all you do, bro. You're just going down the road, and they're in front of you, dude, and they do that. You just kind of like play like you're gonna pass them, and you hit your signal, and you just go over, and then you swerve back over like you thought there was somebody behind you, and they go, "Fuck that, dude." They want nothing to do with you.
That's another thing.
You don't swerve hard, just enough to where they see you. You know what I mean?
And the question is,
that's hilarious.
Is that Joey? What are you doing?
Replay. Anyway, we'll grab all the stuff inside of here.
No, that's my kid.
It's your kid? All right. No, that's the thing is like the amount of people who think they are a good driver and you're like, you should not have a license, period.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
At all is alarming. I'll tell you that much.
Oh yeah, like I've learned in Cleveland that turning your blinker on to get over it to say I'm gonna get over. I'm letting you know just means everybody in their and their mom is now going to speed up to get past you. It's like, dude, I gotta get over. So I've learned. It used to be like, why doesn't anybody use their blinker? Now I've learned because then everybody will pass you. So I can't use my blinker. So like now I just get over. Just get over. And then everybody's pissed at me because I didn't use my blinker. But like, it's a catch-22.
I switch my blinker on, like I'm already starting to move in that lane. So it's like, oh, I'm coming whether you like it or not. And I'm like, there's been multiple times where my wife will be like, hey, someone's there. Well, they're gonna have to move because yeah, sorry. I put on my signal and I'm moving.
Well, that's his fault.
Solution to your problem again. 3 reflector rule, bro. Boop, boop, boop. They either get out the way, they speed up, or they slow down. They don't want to be next to you.
Wait, so are you in the South, Dorito?
Southern California, bro. I'm in LA County and San Bernardino and Riverside County.
We don't have reflectors in Cleveland because of the snow plows.
Yeah.
Well,
just get then just get past the line.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, if they see you past the line a little bit, they're either going to think you're drunk or a nut job, or you just don't care, and they ain't going to want to be because of those 3. They ain't going to want to be around you, bro.
Yeah, which is what you want.
Yeah,
I'd rather just you fuck off and go somewhere else. Like that's why, like I try not to drive too fast, but at the same time, like I'll happily, I'm like, oh, I'll move over, no problem. But if I'm busting out going like 130 and like so 130 so I'm like 80 miles an hour, 75, 80 miles an hour, and the speed limit is 60, and you want to come around my ass, bro.
Yeah, you're not doing it.
You're the problem. You can go drive reckless wherever you want, but I'm staying right here.
Go around me. Yeah, I'm safe where I'm at. You go on around me. I'm going this much above the speed limit, and I'm comfortable where I'm at. Now you go ahead and go around me. I agree with that. Here.
Yeah. So the Havoc staff is coming along. So far, I have this much. I have 2 more pieces, and also I have the head of the staff. It's going well. No, but that's like
Victoria wanted to change the subject.
100% because she's like, it's my people that you got to get mad at. Yeah, because the Chinese people are bad drivers. Same with Indian. That's fine. I grew up in Brampton, which is predominantly people of Southeast Asian descent, and now I live in Toronto. And also I go into Markham. That's fine. And you know what? Like, if you don't know you're a bad driver, okay.
I think the thing is in Asia, they're like
here on the road.
What did you say?
There ain't no color out here when it's on the road.
Everyone's dog shit.
They're all idiots, dude. Trust me.
Well,
in Asia, everything is kind of, if you watch, like, especially Indian, but just in Asia in general, their whole driving system is different than ours anyway. It's a more reactive.
Well, the idea
situation.
is I'm responsible for this. So what I can see here, blinders on, I have to evade anything that comes in my way. But me, on like somebody coming this way, that's their problem. They have to evade me. So like my brother-in-law was explaining this to me because he was in Vietnam, and he was like, he finally got, bro, I love smiles. They're so tasty, and my wife won't make them because my ex-wife used to make them in an omelet, and my wife's like, absolutely not. You're not allowed
Why
to eat
did
those.
you tell her that? You dumbass.
I know. I said it.
Hey, it's never rule number 1 about new girlfriends or wives. Never talk about the exes, bro.
I know. I learned that the hard way, and now I don't get smiles. Okay, sir. It was very dramatic because so there's a dish in Greek is it's called potatoes and eggs, which is it's basically just potatoes and eggs. But it's however it's like a very hearty meal.
We call it huevos and papas.
It's very much like a farm meal. So it's like fried potatoes, eggs on top. It's like an omelet. You throw some cheese, some seasoning, and you'll be good for energy like the whole day. Like it's a full meal. But the problem is that like my ex-wife made them with the smiles, and I'm like, bro, they're crispy on the outside, and then they're like soft and like have mashed potatoes on the inside. They're so good. And I told I'm like, that was one of my favorite things. And she's like, nope, you're never hitting that again. I'm like, wah, wah, wah. Yeah.
I feel that though, because like as much as I hate my baby mama, like my favorite fucking thing she ever made was like etouffee over mashed potatoes. And like nobody makes it that way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's just some shit she just decided to do one day, and I was like, "You got to keep making this." And now
Bro.
we're not together anymore.
Like my wife has made a few things like that. Like she makes a kimchi fried rice with bacon and stuff. and it's
Ooh,
super delicious.
bacon.
Oh yeah, and
Oh,
like
yeah.
like little things like that where I'm like, bro, I'll never tell anyone about those just in case she decides to leave me
Yeah,
and
you're
then I
just gonna
can't
be
have
like,
them. Like
You're
I
gonna
have
be
to
like,
just teach people how to make it.
actually add bacon.
This is the funny thing. I dated mostly white girls
Really?
my whole life, and my wife's Latina.
Yeah.
So I tell my wife, like, yeah, they go ahead, they get me hamburgers or make me hamburgers, and she'd laugh at me. It'd say, "Oh, you got made stupid stuff like this. Here, have some real food. So, here, have some real
Dude, Hispanic food is good though.
Oh,
It's
bro.
that's just a whole legion of food that is superior.
Listen, but that's the thing is, it's the less every cuisine in the world, as long as it's less processed, like you're gonna find something good, right? Like there's even I
I
remember,
never dated a lot of girls who cooked. That's the whole thing, dude.
but which is also like, yeah, if they can't cook,
That's an
Then I met
epidemic
my
in
wife, and it's
California,
like,
I
"Hey, I'm
understand.
marrying you."
yeah. It's hey, that's when you're like, hey, this cow's making like cheese and shit. I'm buying this one. Yeah.
Yeah,
It makes special milk. Yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
fine. That's totally reasonable. But that's people don't understand. You're going, listen, there's a lot of work for men and women and children in a household. Everybody's got a job. If you ain't working, you're not helping the household. That's just life.
Right.
Right.
I was just explaining that to my son, as a matter of fact, on his. He asked me, he goes, "Papa, can I get my allowance for next week?" And I'm all, "You just got your allowance, and you just went and bought something. You also got $10 for Valentine's Day, and then you got $20 because you got you were on the principal's honor roll, as well as you got the honesty award. So you know he got $20 plus he got $10 for Valentine's Day plus he got his allowance. So I'm like, you just spent that on a video game. He said, "Well, I got $12 left."
Damn, that sucks.
He goes,
Go
and
get
I
a job.
and he's 6. He gets $4 a week. Okay,
Okay.
you know, I mean, he's 6 years old. You know what I mean? It's just,
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
yeah,
Candy,
and-
pop, something. Yeah.
yeah, you know. And he goes, he looks at me. He goes, "I just need $4, $4 more so I can get my game." And I says, "So you want me to give you $4 of your allowance?" He goes, "Yeah, times 3." And I'm like, "What? He's 6 years old." And I'm like, "Wait a minute here." And then I look at my wife and I go, "What's he saying?" And she goes, "He needs $12." And I'm like, "So you went 3 weeks allowance?"
But he also displayed his math acumen. So you're like,
Well,
that's a tough one, man. That's
So what it came down to, though, was he's not going to get advances allowance. He will get his advances allowance right now. If he doesn't do any extra chores during that time, then he can't make extra money on top of that. And if he does extra chores and helps my wife out, my wife could say, "Okay, you did do this for me. Here's $3," and take that off of his thing, and then he'll still get his allowance. You know what I mean? That's,
you have to do that. Like it sucks as a parent being that guy, but you will make that child a real person.
either you're gonna, and that's what I told him. I says, "Look, I wanted to teach you how to save first."
Yeah.
My daughter is that way. She's always been that way. She's real good at saving. And I says,
girls
and
are
I
a little
says,
better.
I says, "But I guess we got to do this the different way. I'm going to teach you. You got to work to get what you got, so you'll learn how to save it." And my wife just looked at me. And I'm like, "Yep."
Yeah. Like, that's how it is. Like that's the difference between a man and a woman is like, listen, a guy, if you're not really good, people won't look for you. If you're not very resourceful and out hustling, people aren't just going to give you shit, right?
Yeah.
Like I did. They give me shit because I'm awesome, but that's not the.
I teach them about interest. I'd be like, "All right, I'll give you the advance, but it's gonna be $1 interest."
Well, see, ultimately, is
that's not a bad rule either.
The thing is I want to teach him to have that he doesn't need to borrow money.
It's a good lesson.
I want to teach him that he should earn the money.
Yep.
And you know, the thing is he's already earning the money. So in order to do that, like he has to have good grades.
Yep.
He has to help out his grandmother.
Yep.
Okay. And he has to do his homework. That's why he gets allowance and he helps out around the house. So if he wants to do extra things like help mom carry out like she does her kitty litter thing, help her mom carry out the bag or something, you know, just whatever it is to learn that he's got to do extra stuff in order to cover for that money that he's borrowing and learn that, okay, I can do stuff in the future. I can say, "Hey mom, is there anything extra I can do to earn some extra money because I want to get this," instead of turning around and saying, "Hey, can I borrow that money?"
And
I want
then-
him to think ahead instead of depend on. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that-
and,
you
and
think-
that's the thing.
I feel
He's
like
only 6 though, so I gotta.
yeah, but that's
Isn't that-
you're way ahead of the game on that, right? So
Oh.
for Coles, he's how old is he? 11? No,
8.
8. So 8, he should start learning about interest then. He's like, okay, hey, if you
Yeah,
now
I just
know you have
started
fun-
last year. I started doing an allowance. So
nice.
Yeah.
Listen, it's
$5
I never got an allowance. Mine was if you do stuff, you'll earn money. You want to go do stuff, you'll earn money, and then you want this, and even then it wasn't you get money. Do these things, and we'll buy you that toy. If you don't do those things, go fuck yourself. You have enough.
Yeah, see, like with my daughter, she's got her allowance and she's always saved it.
Yeah.
But she also knows, like Joey's seen, she's painted 3D prints and sold them. My daughter bought her own professional type keyboard. Well, it wasn't. It's semi-pro. It's like it was school adequate. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was like $350. She bought that herself. We got her a drum set because she's perfect student, dude. Like literally straight A plus, honor roll student. Again, principal's honor roll. They're both honor roll students. Yeah, I know, dude. But
Those kids, bro, those aren't your genes.
that's just it, bro. Isn't it our job as parents that our kids got to be better than we are?
Oh, hey. So
If they aren't, then we're not doing our job.
I saw this quote and it fucking hurt, bro. So it was when your father passes away, you realize that that's the one man who wants to see you do better than them. And I was like, God damn it.
You don't have a dad at all.
Yeah, bro. But that's the thing is like that's your job as a parent. You're like,
Yeah.
you want your children to out earn, outsmart, out everything. And you know what? If you don't want that,
Then
that's
you're
a
not
you
doing
problem.
your job. That's
You're
what
not-
that's
yeah,
an
you're
old
doing
thing.
someone's job, not
Yeah.
yours.
Yeah.
Right.
You gotta. That's. I mean, that's what I was raised as. My father passed that torch to me, and
Yeah.
I'm going to pass that torch to my son. Thank God I have a son to pass it to.
Like,
Because
bro,
Then I would have to man up that man that ever wear. Well, I have a daughter as well too, but I'm going to have to man up that man in that same breath.
yeah.
At that point in time, I'm going to have to say, you know what, dude? Remember, you're the ultimate provider. You're the one that's holding the stick. You know what I mean? You're the one that's going to pass that on to my grandchild. You know what I mean? So as you get older, that's just it. That's the only thing is progression. You got to make sure that your kids do better.
Absolutely.
That's kind of the whole like your kids do better than you thing. Like I'm the
Setting
only
up your retirement, bro. Like
I'm the only one
too.
of my siblings that really has like a legitimate relationship with my mother. My mom is just like she's just a crazy person. Like she means well, but she's not really all there. If I'm honest, like if you have a deep conversation with her, you're like, this person's out there.
if you
You know
watch
what I
last
mean?
week's
So-
Hammered and Cheese, you'll get it.
Also,
So-
you see a right cross coming across from the screen.
Bro, hey, I was
So, but my
waiting for that
sibling-
the whole episode.
They don't fuck with her like that, and they're like mad at her. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. We're supposed to be better than her. You know what I mean? Like that's just how it goes. Like y'all are taking it too hard. Okay. Furthermore, you're like holding a crazy person accountable. That doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Like, but
You
that
can't win
they
that
just don't get
argument.
it.
Yeah, I guess I see what they're saying because I don't feel any better than my father or my mother. You know what I mean? I honestly don't.
You shouldn't.
But that probably means you have a
Yeah.
good relationship with your parents, though.
Yeah, I did.
To be fair, like
I had a very good relationship with my parents.
And that's the thing is you feel like, oh, I've progressed in life, but like that's all it is. You're like, because then you also be like, okay, well, what do I want out of life? Right? Like
Yeah.
they gave you more tools than they had, and then you have to choose what you want to do. That's a reasonable process to go through. But
That's what I'm doing. I got the kids can go to college under the Ohio War Orphans Act for like 90% discount or something
which is
Damn.
at
awesome.
any state school. I mean, obviously they could become a YouTuber. They could use my me to launch. They could work for me at some point if they want. And at some point I'll probably give them the trust fund with my retirement. So they'll have good options, I think.
Well, see,
Yeah.
that's where with me, that comes into them with the perfect grades and the honor roll stuff and keeping above that 4.0 or 5 point, whatever the GPA is, keeping the highest grade level possible, is because my daughter, when she gets to the point of going to college, as long as she has her straight A's permanently and always top of her class and everything, she's the best one in her math class, bro. And she's in advanced.
Hey, that's hard, bro.
Yeah, and she's in advanced math, and she's hard on herself, bro. She goes in the mornings before school to whatchamacallit, where the teacher's there and helps them
tutoring?
Tutoring, yes, in the morning. Yeah. So she's like on it, dude. But the whole thing is she knows how important that is to us, and we give her whatever she needs, and then she gets allowance for it as well. You know what I mean? But
a fair arrangement, though.
Yeah,
right? Like,
but she better damn well do it, and then, or else she ain't getting shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
She's gonna get the necessities. But the whole thing is she realizes now she's 13, she's getting ready to start high school. She realizes how important that is to have all those A's, because when it comes to college, and I told her straight out, look, no matter what, if you want to go to college, we'll make sure you can go to college. It might just be one of these local colleges because that might not be all we can afford. But if you're a straight A student and you're excelling in things and you're doing
whatever you want,
music, you're doing this and that, you'll be able to write your ticket at a lot of these colleges because they'll give you, there'll be funding for it, and it'll be easier for us to help that, to facilitate that. You know what I mean?
But that's the thing is, like, listen, if the sooner your kids know that
I don't have a
well, technically, no, but that's the whole idea is once they realize you're like, hey, there's a lot more moving parts, and you're part of those moving parts. If you don't come to negotiate, like, hey, nothing is going to happen. That's not like, if you don't contribute, you don't weigh in, you don't wrestle. Sorry.
My big thing that I didn't know I was going to have to deal with is, I never thought I was going to have kids, first off. So I'm like making a lot of this shit up as I go. I never had a plan at it. So maybe I'm doing it the way everybody does. But my big thing with Jack is he comes home and he's like, my teacher said this and this is what happened and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, okay, those are rules and you do have to follow them. And that is the thing that we generally, kind of accept as, like, when we're talking about history, I think that is generally the accepted answer. But don't believe just because everybody else says that it isn't bullshit. You know what I mean? Always look for you still gotta apply that. You gotta know that that's the general accepted answer. But just because that's a general accepted answer does not mean that it's the truth. Separate yourself from the real answer and the truth, or the real answer of what everybody says is the answer.
I've always raised my daughter, especially, to question authority.
Yeah,
okay? But never not respect it.
Right. Exactly.
That's what keeps you alive.
It's a fine line.
Hey, a cop pulls me over who's going to be younger than me, and I will smack the shit out of him and go, "Hi, officer. What can I do for you today? Is there something I can help with?" And I keep my hands up. I'm like, "Oh, is there something? Do you need my assistance?" He's like, "Oh, you ran late. Oh, my apologies. Let's have a peaceful, reasonable conversation, and then I'll see you at court because I think you're a fucking asshole. But right now, while you have a gun on me, everything's nice and everything's polite, and we're all going to be fine and friends, right?" That's not like
I'm generally like courteous and cordial to police officers. I know they're just doing their jobs until they start getting weird with me, and that's when I start getting an attitude. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to have an attitude because you're having a bad day. This is your job. You chose it. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Any other job you have a bad day, whatever you get.
I totally agree.
Every officer should be of the utmost professionalism on every traffic stop.
All time.
What the person's status is in the world. I don't give a fuck if they're a known crackhead. You still treat that person with professionalism.
Right.
Bottom fucking line.
Also
Bare
true.
fucking minimum. I have no tolerance for that shit. None whatsoever.
I don't either.
I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. When I was growing up, a cop car pulled me over. I'd stick my hands out the car with the keys in my hand, dude.
Smart. Hey, smart move. Hey, so I do this. I put the keys on top of the dash and put my hands in the steering wheel. And
Yeah, that's what I do. I turn the dome light on
literally,
and put my hands on the steering wheel.
I literally grab the keys, bro.
Yeah.
Right out the window, just like that.
Smart. Hey, you know what? Like I've had somebody. So I had a cop I said, "Hey, listen, I'm too fat to reach my wallet. I have to get out of the car. If I just can't. I'm just too fat." And he's like, "Okay, well, use your other hand." I'm like, "Bro, if I could use both hands, I wouldn't be that fat. That's not right." So I go, I'm
Wouldn't
gonna
be
have
that
this one
fat.
visible. This one is out here. I open the car door. I take one step out. As I'm halfway out of the car, he takes a step back into traffic, puts his hand on his gun, and goes, "What the fuck are you?" And I'm like, two hands visible. Everyone's calm. I'm just a person, bro. I'm just very large, which is why I couldn't reach my wallet. I'm going to use my
What
two
the fuck
fingers.
are you?
I'm like, I'm just going to use two fingers and reach in my pocket. And here is my entire wallet. Can I open this with my other hand? He's like, "Oh, okay." And I'm like, "Bro, that's not how you, if you're so small that you're going to get intimidated because of a fat guy, you got bigger problems. Maybe you need a
There's
different
so
physical
many
experience."
pussies with badges, bro.
Yeah, no, see, I grew up in LA County in the 80s and 90s.
Ooh,
So,
Ooh, the Rodney King era.
There was such an epidemic out there. It's called Death by Cop.
Yep.
And yeah, we didn't mess around. Yeah.
Hey,
no.
it's nobody. It bothers me when people are like, "Oh, a cop job is easy." No, it's not. It's definitely not. But at the same time, is it adequately staffed, funded, educated? No. So that's two times where you're going, "Oh, you have a shit job, and you're not getting trained. You're not getting the right education." Because look, how many times I go, "Do you know how many people have no idea what the fuck they're doing?" And they're like, "Well, that's illegal." Is it? Because the law says otherwise, you dipshit. You're like, that's not. You can't just assume things are illegal because you're too stupid to read. That's
Bro,
not how life works.
I was about 16 years old, and I shit you not, dude. I turn around like this, and I see a riot baton coming straight at my face, flexed. Seeing it just flexing, dude, coming straight at my face. That's how fast he was swinging it, dude. Where I could see it a little bit, dude. It just hit me and took me right off my roller skates, dude.
Oh yeah, and but that's like,
Legs
and
in the air, dude.
yeah, that's insane, right? But
Yeah.
what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I got hit. Just in wrong place, wrong time. I had nothing to do with anything, dude. I was somewhere, and there was some shit started up. It was a riot down in Huntington Beach, and I seen it happening, and I go we're skating up. You know, we're going down the boardwalk,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, turn around and wham, dude! I was like, bro, fucking on the ground, dude.
The worst.
Didn't get arrested, just got the shit beat out of me.
Beat out of you. So the worst I ever got was I was in a club with people, like, but I was at the bar because it was just having a smoke kind of. Back then you could smoke in a club, and there was a ruckus beside me, and a little bouncer grabbed my arm and goes, "You got to go too." And I went, "What?" And he's like, "Come on." And he tried to move my arm, and like it didn't budge because like at the time I was like 20, around 20, and I was like 2 a days. Actually, no, I was probably 18, 19. I'm like 2 a days, actively wrestling. Like, I'm like, no, I'm not going anywhere. And then another big guy who was almost my size walks up and goes, "Hey man, you gotta go." I go, "Why?" And he was like, "Fuck." And I'm like, "I think you should tell your friend to get his hands on me. Now, if you want me to leave, you can ask me and I'll happily go. But now there's two of you. Why do I have to go? What did I do?" "Well, you were fighting." "No, I wasn't. I've been sitting here with my drink." All these bartenders are going, "Why are you kicking him out? He hasn't even paid." I'm like, "I don't know what you guys are trying to pull, but you're more than welcome to. It's going to have to be a shit time."
If there was a fight and you were a really big guy and they didn't want you there in case another fight broke out. Like,
100%. And I've had that multiple times where I'm going, "Don't touch me. I didn't fight anyone. Do you want me to? Because I will." And they're like, "Ah." I'm like,
that's
listen.
what you're hitting with the who the fuck here would fight me.
"No," you're like, don't start. I've had people in a mosh pit get launched at me, fall to the ground. I turn around and they're like, "I am so sorry, sir." I'm like, don't. I'm a little worried now because I'm not as big, but at the same time, go for it. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. See, you know as well as I do. You got to admit this. In most clubs, any club that is decent, that guy that, and even me, I'm 6 foot, 240 pounds. I'm not considered bar big.
No.
You know what I mean? And even somebody that size is not considered bar big. That's called a doorman.
Yeah.
And the big guy was the bouncer. That guy was trying to throw his weight around when he had none, dude. And trust me, I worked plenty of doors all kinds of times, but I knew my place, dude. You know what I mean? And you have the same ability as a bouncer. That's what you are, technically.
It's it's one of those
But-
things, Dorito, where I've always laughed because I never have been a doorman, but I've had a couple people going, "You want a job?" And I'm like, "I'd love to be a doorman." They're like, "Nope, that's probably bad. That's a bad idea." I'm like, "Probably."
He wants to work in the bar. You need to be inside, not at the door.
Well,
Yeah.
and that's the funny thing is, like, I've had people start fights and I grab two of them and just hand them off to bouncers. I'm like, "Can you guys deal with this? I'm trying to enjoy my evening." And they're like, "Yeah, that's no problem." I'm like, "Yeah, please don't do that. I don't enjoy it."
The little bouncer, if he's really a bouncer, that's the one you got to worry about.
That's true too. I had
As
one
in,
guy
He'll
flip
climb
me.
all over you like a spider monkey, dude, and then you'll be on the
Yeah.
ground.
I had one guy get me like that. Fastest guy I've ever fought, hands down, like the fastest. And he clipped me, and I was starting to slow down. Like I was in rough shape, and then he grabbed onto me, and I'm like, "Ha, ha, ha, you fool!" And then I just start slamming him into things. I'm like, "Don't touch me."
That's not the way to
that
fight
is
a
the
big
biggest
person.
mistake. Yeah.
It's not a way to fight a big person. You never stay where you can get grabbed.
No,
Dude.
never.
I think I told Joey about this story before. I was at a bar once, and I'm at the bar.
Yeah.
And a girlfriend of mine, her ex-boyfriend, walks in behind me, and I seen him walking in. I'm like, "Fuck."
Yeah.
Next thing you know, his buddy, who I saw over there earlier, must have called him or something, was over there, and he started walking over, and his buddy started walking over, and I was sitting on a stool. Okay, so I get some no back stool. All right. One walks behind me, other one walks next to me, and the other one standing behind him like this. Fuck. And I seen him, and he turned around and hit me, bro. Right there. Solid shot, bro. And I hit the bar like this. I turned around and clocked homeboy with the side of the didn't break. Didn't break.
Oh, oh, that's gonna hurt in the
And-
long run. That's
Climbed over those two and ran out the fucking bar.
Yeah.
You know,
gotta be safe. Man. That's it.
but
those
guess
ones-
what? I was quick enough to nail one of them and climb over the two that I didn't hit and not get hit at all, except for that one shot. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when it comes to a bigger person, you got to stay the fuck away from them
See,
and go for the legs, not for anything else. Take the legs out. You, a big guy like you, dude, I wouldn't try hitting you in the face. What's the point? What's the
Trust
point?
me, it's
I'm going to try and take your knees out. You know what I mean?
that's the thing, Dorito. So I'm the youngest of five. So
Yeah.
growing up, I was the smallest until I wasn't.
Yeah.
So I would always I would poke people in the eye. I would put my thumb in between your ribs and shit like that. And then I'm like, then I had like ridiculously large hands where I'm like, bro, when I jabs, like I'll take a thumb and just like this and just go pop right in your ribs. And bro, I've dropped guys that I assumed would have been okay were not okay. I'm like, because I'm a dirty fighter. I'm like, yeah, no. I fight for survival. I don't fight for entertainment.
There's nothing fair in a fight. You're right.
Yeah.
No,
And I'm
I
like,
agree.
no. And that's what, no holding. Bro, I'm going to grab your trachea and rip it off of your face. You know why? I don't want to be in this environment. I don't want to be doing this thing.
Yeah,
So-
you don't get near big people.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. What do we see? You started this, not me.
Right.
I didn't. There was no rope involved. Okay,
Yeah.
I just want to say right now.
Oh, this. There's that. There's
I'm
that.
sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
It's fine. Where did I think Cole had to bounce doing laundry? Oh well, there. Here you go.
I had
What's
to,
up, Cole? There we go.
I had
You're
to
doing
tell-
laundry. Oh, you're downstairs.
was
I
that
have
too-
laundry.
Was that too soon, Dino?
It's always too soon. You
I'm
fucking
sorry.
retard. I love you, Dorito, but at the same time, you're functionally retarded. So I'm like, it's a good time
Not functionally.
Completely.
scientifically.
I am tarded. Okay, I am tarded.
I mean, it's
There's nothing re about me.
technically that's how you say it. So
There's nothing re about me, dude. There's nothing re about me.
it's,
I think target would be worse because then you can't even pronounce the whole word.
I mean, it's a thing. That's for sure.
You should see us in those inflatable balls.
So, okay, have you guys been watching? There was a video a little while ago where somebody hit one of those inflatable balls with a guy in it with a Tesla, and it went 100 feet in the air.
No,
That guy definitely got
that
hurt.
was Danny, and there was somebody wasn't in it, bro. It was
No?
no. That was a stunt. Danny, what's his name? He's in Florida. He hit it with his white Tesla.
Yeah,
And it
I remember the
went
white Tesla.
past the trees. It was an empty ball.
Was
but
it MG? Oh.
If you look up one, and I can't find it, I mean, I might be able to find it. I showed it to Joey. Joey saw it.
Cole looks like he's fucking staying up late, and a chick with he doesn't really want to talk to.
No, there's one where there.
Why is he wearing glasses? Where did that happen? What is
There's
going
people.
on?
There's people in those things in a bull ring, bro.
Getting old, man.
Around in a bull ring, and a bull nails it and knocks the guy halfway across the arena.
Hey, that's terrifying. Like, let's be very clear. Like, if that shit happens, like, especially with a bull. Okay, so what?
I'll find it. I will find it right now.
Okay, so Cole, what are you applying for a job right now? Like, what's this look now? All of a sudden, you look like you work at SpaceX. Be honest.
Tell me again how nobody knew who Clark Kent was. Knew that he was Superman. Like, that shit is a different person, right?
100% different person.
Oh, they were idiot reporters at a fucking left wing bullshit newspaper in New York City. What do you want to be?
That sounds about right. When you look at like Fox News and CNN, you're like, oh, okay, I see it.
Hey,
these organizations and these newspapers are fucking trash anymore, dude. It's all fucking clickbait bullshit. That's why I don't even fucking listen to it. Why would I do it? Just give me the fucking headline in the article. Why you gotta click something and you go click on it? There's fucking all kinds of these banner ads like, you don't believe the world's tallest dwarfs and shit. And then, no, I got time for this. No, I got time for this.
okay, so I've actively been avoiding news, like programs and stuff like that. Just 'cause I'm like, I don't like. It's a waste of time, right? Like, are you guys still watching the news, or are you just
I
like,
haven't watched the news. Like I said earlier, I haven't watched the news since like before Trump was president.
Yeah, I'm not a news
It's
guy.
been a minute.
like I find I'm a lot happier. Like, I'm not happy in general, but like happier as a person.
Oh, I
when
still
I'm not
find out the
following news.
news. That's the thing. That's the crazy
That's what
part.
I'm
Is
saying.
you're still getting the news without having to watch the news now. You know.
If I want to know something about something, I'll look it up. Otherwise, I do not watch the news, dude. It's terrible, dude. It depresses the shit out of you.
Well, a lot of times it's kids dying and shit. I don't want to hear about kids dying.
I mean, like
Kids get run
I
over
would
by
just be like,
car or
do a
shit.
flip. I want, I'm reasonable that way. If you're gonna do it, do it.
You just tell random kids do a flip.
Yeah.
Oh, here it is. Look, Tito, look. Did I show it? It's a short.
Yeah, I don't know. You just hold up your phone.
yeah,
As long as we talk along, it'll be fine.
Okay, hold on here.
Joe,
turn
are you
off-
volunteering for the homeless now?
Yeah. Bro,
Have a name
Like, watch.
you can say who
Oh.
is it.
you went into the. Oh my god. That's a solid, like,
Where did that thing land? Holy fuck.
in the audience, bro. Which, like, all right.
That's why I want to hit Luch with a go-kart with one of them, dude. But I want him
That would be horrible. This is a horrible decision you're making.
If he's inside one of the ones that's the ball on the inside, then it's different. He's completely in it. His legs, like these ones, your legs stick out just like those ones with the ball.
Yeah. It's gonna cost fucking $150 to set the stud up here. You make fucking $20 in ad revenue. It's not worth it.
It's not even for you. Don't get it, dude. Do you think we do all this shit to make money from YouTube itself?
I've seen your backdrops. I know you're not doing this to make money from YouTube itself.
But you are.
Right. You can see what I got. I got free stickers and fucking jerseys from China.
Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty good. So I got no worries with what we do. We have fun with what we do, dude. That's what it's all about, man.
Oh, I'm totally doing this to make.
I mean,
money
do you
on
think
YouTube.
Luch got into the dryer because he wanted to get a freaking sponsorship from a dryer sheet company? No, he got in the dryer because Kathy said, "Hey, here's
If I wanted to do something for fun, I'd be playing video games right now. Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit. Oh, we do it because it's fun. No, I do it to make money. God damn it! What the fuck?
Fun.
What is that golf shit?
It's go-karts.
Oh, okay.
Fun.
These glasses don't help for shit.
Yeah, you gotta get the laser surgery, bro.
I don't like the idea of somebody fucking shooting lasers at me.
It's easy, bro. You sit in a chair and then you fall asleep and they put lasers on you.
I'm okay.
It's
good.
easy thing ever, bro.
I had to be. My finger was like thoroughly severed off. It was hanging, and they were like, "You should go to the hospital." I was like, "Are you sure?" And they're like, "Yes, you need to go to the hospital." I was like, "Like we can get it back together, right?" They're like, "No." I'm like, "God damn it!" Like I don't do people doing stuff to me. I just don't like it.
Fuck.
Why are you coughing like a bitch, Joey?
Because I'm a bitch.
Bitch.
I mean,
That's pretty much the reason why I don't go to the doctor, is because I'm a bitch.
I mean, that's fair. That's a manly thing, though. We don't,
Walked into this bar
we're
in
all
Burma,
doing that
we were
stupid
getting
shit.
lunch, and the waitress was like, "You guys smell like weed." I was like, "That's because we've been smoking weed."
Is
Fuck
that
off
a,
me.
hey? So, like, I remember, like back in the day, that would happen. We'd be like, "You guys stink." Yeah, that's fine. And then I would fart immediately. Just
Smells like goddamn success, bro. Shit. The world is not ready, Dino, for motivated potheads. They're not. They're not ready for the drive. They're not ready for the skill. They're not ready for the unrelentless time that we will nitpick and put into shit to succeed in this entertainment world, bro. They're just not ready for this kind of heat. They're not.
Because they don't have any imagination.
They think people are sitting in a goddamn basement, eat a bunch of Twinkies and shit, fat as fuck with the goddamn neck. It's not like that. We got fashion, we got style, we got grace. We know what the fuck we're doing out here. We study this shit. We watch.
Joey's not wrong. As much as I like to dog him for smoking weed, like ever since he gave me weed back in November, I smoke weed right before I work out every night. So, like, that's what it gets me going. Like,
I don't know about that. I do know that
I swear to God, man.
a productive pothead is a very, very beneficial thing. That's I'll give you that.
Inventive.
It's I think more so it's because they eliminate anger from their responses more, and I think that is a better way to exist. Just in general, right? Because you got to understand is that as soon as you get angry, you're a bitch.
Honestly, it's not even anger. It's like it just takes the edge off the nuisance. Like but whatever it is, you know.
Hey, the shit in life you shouldn't be caring about, you don't care about. That's the number one.
Yeah, it puts shit in perspective.
Right. I'm like, why am I worrying about this? I don't give a fuck. And it's like any online argument, any person's whatever, this and that. I just don't care. Whatever, you win. It's not worth my time. Never get knowledge. You're in the room. You know what I mean? I just don't care. Whatever.
But that's the thing, right? Like it's one of those things where if you're gonna be bitching about something not being done, go do it. Oh, but you should do it. No, you have a problem. Go do it. That's the same thing. Like realistically, like I always like the idea is if you have a problem, you go sleep on the couch. I'm sleeping in my bed. Sorry, that's not up to debate. And the idea that somebody would be not okay with that, you're like, no. If you have a problem, you go deal with it.
When did Daft Punk join the chat?
I mean, let's be honest, if the news came out that Dorito was Daft Punk, how fucking hilarious would that shit be? Right? Like, that would be the greatest reveal ever. Just in general.
Right? Hey,
I'm up all night to get lucky.
Daft Punk tours, I think. I don't think Dorito spent a lot of times on stream, so I don't think there's no way. The time thing doesn't work.
I knew a guy that turned out to be the Pet Shop Boys.
The Pet Shop. I tried getting on the one guy from I think it was Pet Shop Boys. And Stacy Q, she didn't return my email. I didn't know Stacy Q. 2 hearts. 2 hearts. Pat knows that song.
Hey, what do you have going on? Do you have anybody interviewing this week, Joe?
Yeah, tomorrow at 3 Eastern, 8 UK time. We get on Mel Gaynor. He's a drummer from Simple Minds.
Nice.
Don't you forget about me, that song. And then Friday, we got an actor, Jesse Heyman. He was in Old School. He's been in a lot of extras. He lives out by Dorito. He's going to be on. And on March 1st, that's a Friday, former Major League Baseball pitcher, 1993 Cy Young Award winner for the American League, Jack McDowell, will be live on the show.
Is he somebody from Extras?
The Jesse Heyman, he's been an extra in a lot of shit. Like, you look up his resume, he's been an extra in, like, ER and Big Bang Theory. And,
the money doing that.
Yeah, he does.
Ooh,
I mean, I don't know.
living.
It's wild because I think he does make some money, but I don't think he makes as much money as we think. Because I checked out some of his pictures, and he was like working as a security guard at SoFi Field. So I don't know if he makes as much money as we really think.
It's a very much it's a supplemental thing, right? Like you can make a living, but you can also make it like that combined with a regular job. You're doing okay.
I think that's the way to go, though, because like at this point, like as much as like I have all these different gigs that I do, I don't know that I would want a job that takes up all my time. You know what I mean? Like I just want, I'll do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but I can do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But I don't want something that's like you got to be here, you got to be here, you got to be here, you got to be here. Even if it's only like a whole movie for 6 months, I'm like I'm not that committed. Like you know what I mean? Like.
But there's a degree of that, like even like Kyle's on a movie right now, and he was saying how it's like he's working 14-hour days, but at the same time he's getting paid double time for half of that, right? So it's like, and he's getting paid at like
how
double
many
time
days?
at a really good rate.
5 days? Like how many days is it?
I think he had 3 days, and then he has another 2 more next week. So it's like it's not like 5 days straight.
That's not bad though. Then
No,
actually,
it's really not. It's really not. But he even said like they do weird stuff where like the time to the call time changes. So it's like you start at the beginning of the week coming in at like 4 o'clock in the morning. By the end of the week, you're starting at like 8 o'clock at night, and you're filming overnight. It's weird stuff with film that they do, right?
Well, movies aren't exactly easy. Everybody thinks it's the easy life. Like those guys, like you were saying, they're on set 12, 14-hour days for 5 months. That's a lot of fucking work, dude.
A lot of fucking work.
Yeah, most of them have to like stay in really good shape their entire fucking life too. You know what I mean? There's work that goes beyond the work too. You eat good salads, and you have to connect with people and make good. Like you have to constantly be trying to meet new people so that they can open up doors for. It's a whole different job outside the work alone, you know. So
yeah.
Well, that's why like most stand-up comedians, if they do a movie, it's not typically the best because it's just a different medium. Stand-up is just being sarcastic, telling people stuff that they may want to think and say, but they can't do it themselves because they don't either have the balls or so they go to escape from that. So in a way, stand-up comedy, we provide relief for, the escapism we were talking about earlier with the books. But, that doesn't necessarily translate for stand-up comics by nature. You look at all this. You can look at the way they dress. Look at the way they talk about. Look at their work schedules. Most of them are pretty fucking lazy. The most stand-up comics are lazy people. They really are. A lot of them would just apply themselves basically and quit blaming fucking white people for doing this shit. Probably be successful, but whatever. We're not going to go there. But like,
he's just dead though.
But like out there, I mean, when I had that soap actress Patricia Darbo on the other day, they have to memorize fucking 30, 40 pages a day and shit. I don't know how these fucking guys do it, man. It's just a whole different ball of wax in the world, man. I don't know.
I even said that I'm like, that's the one thing that I don't like the idea about acting is specifically because you're like, I'm not remembering this whole thing. Yeah, no, get the fuck out of here. I'm like, no, I can be me. That's what I can do.
That was one thing in school. In school when you have these school plays and shit, I never tried out for it because I was always afraid I was never gonna memorize these lines. Why am I gonna do this? There's no way. I never tried out for any of them.
I remember once it was like 18 pages of script that I had to memorize, and I'm like, I wrote it down in like a clipboard and then pretended I was writing stuff down in the clipboard while I was just reading my lines. Like,
I'd actually enjoy acting. Actually, I think
because you're a dog shit person. You son of
I would like not as a full-time career, but like to do every once in a while. I'd be like, I'll throw some lines out there, but I'm not gonna follow the script. I'm gonna just like you give me the situation and I'll react to the other guy. Like you know what I mean? Like I don't know that that's acting and that's totally stepping on the rules. So like I don't know that I would get hired much, but
of course not. That's so the other day I actually did a online casting thing, and then they're like, and the worst part is they're like, oh, it's casting, so you do this part. I'm like, sure. And then they're like, so if you want to get hired with us, you have to sign up for our courses, and they're $1,000. You're like, oh, fuck you.
It sounds made up. Yeah.
I actually did get one call. One person on IMDb fucking sent me a thing, and I read for it. I never heard back from it. I don't even know if they made the movie, but it was a stereotypical dad from Cleveland. And Amy read something about. I got the audition. I can show it to you if you want, but she was. All right, I got
I'm like, bro. I'm like, I'm good at pretending to be me. That's it. I need somebody to like. I'm like, I can write up a script and just do stuff. I'm like, just tell me what you want me to do. I'm like, I can pretend to be human. I've been pretending for 43 years. I can do it a little longer.
No, somebody approached you about being the stereotypical Cleveland dad. You're not a stereotypical dad though.
Yeah, well, it just said Cleveland, and that probably fit the height requirements. You take it out, brother. All right, we'll see it.
And Joey, that was the perfect word for the book thing, was escapism. I was looking for that one earlier.
Yeah.
But also, too, I wanted to point out, shitty background or not, yours is 7.5 is your maximum on your lives, which is your best. And I got 57,000 as my best on one of them. So
wait, what now?
What was that? What was it?
we were comparing YouTube, Peters.
Oh, it's a different format, bro. Mine was a live stream.
That's what I'm saying.
For video. It's all
Completely
different.
different format.
Oh yeah. I'm never. I mean, end of the day, we're trying to monetize our free time is what I'm basically doing.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Like Cole said, we could be out here playing video games. You know, I'm a
It's
stand-up
having
guy.
fun with it, bro.
Mhm.
That's the whole thing. That's what.
And I've gotten to the point where I could talk in front of any camera. I'm not worried about that. But like,
That's easy.
I need to get there where I'm actually looking at people, actually feeling the room. I'm actually getting the vibe. It's been a long time since I've really connected with an audience. That's why the hosting thing is perfect because I can do that, man. I get all inspiration from watching all these Matt Rife clips and shit. Not just on how he talks. I
was just talking smack,
just,
bro.
just in terms of how he interacts with the audience. How he interacts with the audience and shit.
I just went over and just pissed on your lawn real quick, okay?
Well, it's the same thing. How we constantly pick at each other, constantly roast each other. That's great for that kind of thing. It really is. You know, a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know, I dropped the audition for that movie in the basement. If you wanted to watch it, you don't have to. If you want to completely ignore it, that's 100% fine.
I definitely want to watch that, sir.
Right?
Your staff is getting quite large, sir.
Hey, Kim,
You
read me the.
highlighted something that you weren't supposed to.
Where at?
It says, there you
We're
are.
going
What happened?
over it. I
I
didn't trim
distinctly
this.
remember you saying,
Oh,
don't
so-
worry, I got this. And then it says, Rich approaches, and quickly grabs hold of Lance's shoulder and spins him around, finally.
Oh, I got you.
See that?
Okay.
Here we have proof that Joey can't read. It's perfect.
No.
Fucking retard. What's wrong with you?
I'm bold. There we go. I've never watched this before.
You're gonna learn
I didn't know
today.
you let your wife in your man cave.
What I expect, the one weekend I leave Lance in charge. All I want to do is watch the Indians, whatever they're called these days, eat some barbecue, drink a brew. But of course, I get called in for this nonsense.
Bro,
There you are. What happened? I distinctly remember you saying, "Don't worry, I got this."
Oh shit! This is so funny.
Hey. This is great.
Do you have any clue what happened to Lance?
No, what happened to Lance?
Is this some sort of prank? Because if it is, I guarantee the culprit is getting fired.
A prank? I can assure you this is no prank. Rich.
That's fine. Not really.
Bro.
Oh, you're fine.
Hey,
Well,
Joey. You should read more just to get better at this kind of stuff.
Joe.
I'm telling you.
Oh, was this you reading for a part?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was some cold email they sent me because I got my email address on my IMDb, and then they said read for this part. They sent me a video. I was like, that's why I sent them.
Joe,
Hey.
I love your the like your version of acting is just be louder.
Right?
Oh, yeah. And enunciate when you're talking. It's very important because Lance was a retard. And you're like,
Yeah, you're really rolling them bowels, bro.
bro, you gotta calm down. Like the funny thing is, Joey has a good voice and he enunciates fine. But as soon as he's reading off a script, he's like, I walked down and talked with the cat. The cat said hello. I need you to know that cats could
Yeah, have you
eat
just
food."
been yourself, like totally through and through?
What I should have done was memorize the fucking lines instead of reading them.
Yeah, you specifically, like, look, I can read stuff and you won't be able to tell. Only my eyes will go back to the thing. You, sir, no. You need to memorize. That is.
Yeah, no, I feel like
That
you
one
could have
got
gotten
deep.
the part had you just been yourself. But you
Yeah.
like whatever you were doing, that wasn't it.
I feel like if you were like, man, fuck Lance, that guy, he always fucking, I leave him in charge, he fuck shit up. I would have been like, hire that guy. That guy knows what he's fucking doing, you know?
Lance is a freaking idiot.
No,
Guy
Lance
can't
is
even screw in a light bulb. Guy's got to go.
100%. That's exactly what Joey would say. Joey is like, there was a cat, and Lance and the cat were friends. I do not like the cat because he's not a Lance's friend.
I saw him chase the ball across the street.
They got that audition back.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I
you
said.
got retarded.
They're like, hey, do we have a quota for handicapped people? And
Like Rocky and Bullwinkle would say, Watch him sit on chestnut trees.
Right? Like that's a real
They
thing.
they got 8 seconds into that audition. They're like, nope.
All right.
You got this, Joey.
Well, it was for free, and it was took me a minute and a half, so whatever.
Hey, that's fine.
Fuck it, right? I mean, it's practice.
Hey, you got asked more than we did. So
Well, it's like this too. Do I even want to be an actor? I have no desire to be an actor.
I'm
Yeah.
having the same thing where I'm like, I like making people laugh and just doing weird shit. Acting, and I'm like, if you want to pay me to just stand around, I'm down, but like I don't aspire to be a thespian. Like that's
I
not
think I'm of the opinion that acting is the easiest job in the world, though. Like it seems like everybody in the entertainment world ends up doing it at some point. Like rappers, basketball players. It's probably not. No, now there are some people that are really, really fucking good at it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to take away from it per se, but I think anybody can get decent at it. So like, and it seems to be easy money, you know.
If you're doing a part in something, it's different. If you're doing even just a stand-in part or anything, it seems a lot different when you're there, as opposed to like, oh yeah, I got this.
yeah.
Right at that point in time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just not even having a voice or anything. I've done 2 things, a video and one other thing a long time ago when I was younger, and I was just in the background. But you have to do they want you to do certain things in that background. No. Well, one was recent. One was a couple of years ago, my buddy's video. And then the other one was at, it was a music video, like a Twisted Sister sort of scenario. And that was a long time ago.
Okay, here's a real question. If you were trying to get a job,
Bop into something. Huh?
Yeah.
here's a real question. Say you were offered a job, a role, or whatever,
No,
for decent money, and it was a dude who's like, "Okay, I'm gonna get you this job, but you gotta let me suck your dick.
He's got to suck my dick.
He's gotta suck your dick till climax. Would you do it?"
Oh, I'm not allowed to pull any weapons out.
I'm gonna. Hey, before we go, am I allowed to suck him off first?
Sure, why not?
Forget,
That was
experience, right?
the escalation I
He
expected.
just wants to know if you're down. You know what I mean? Like down for the job.
It depends on what the job is, what the pay
That
rate
way
is.
sideways.
I'm not 100% putting it out.
Well, whatever it is, you want this job in this scenario. You want this job.
I got to know
Would
the
you
pay
do
rate.
it?
I'm not going to do it blanket without the job.
Yeah, but I ain't throwing my ethics out the window. You got to go. Nope.
Like
I'd do it. Fuck it.
Nope.
there's a lot of videos right now talking about people who are newly famous, and they're like, "Oh, I remember that guy when he was sucking that guy's dick," and you're like, "What? Where did that come from?" And you're like, "Yeah, that's what you got to do. You want to be famous, you got to suck dick," and you're like, "I don't think that's how that works," but all right, man. You
Probably
have fun.
100% was how it worked for like almost 100 years in that industry. That's only recently changed.
I think that
Slim Jim.
changed as soon as women became into the workforce, right? Because nobody was asking dudes, be like, "Hey, I'll hire you and give you a promotion, but you got to suck my wiener." You're like,
I don't know, man. There's a lot of gay people that were just like
No, there aren't.
incognito, bro.
bro, they used to be in jail in the
Oh.
mental asylum.
I would
Yeah,
imagine
you know.
fashion-
Doritos sweet chili
Spicy sweet chili flavor meat stick. I mean,
meat stick.
You know the Doritos sweet chili chips? You ever had
That's
those?
what you,
oh
That's-
yeah, those are good.
that's
The
the
purple-
flavor of
purple
dick
bag,
you're
yeah,
gonna be
the purple
serving that guy
Slim.
with for the job.
It's basically a Slim Jim with that flavoring.
I mean, I'd have that. That's,
Yeah.
Dorito, that would be the flavor of dick you're giving that dude that you're trying to get the job from.
I mean, dude,
Spicy sweet
Sorry.
chili.
sweet.
I already said I'm not allowed to show any weapons.
Oh, shit.
All right. How? See, I like the sweet chili because it actually builds up as well. Like it's a enjoyable.
I don't like any of the Dorito novelty flavors. Just the Cool Ranch and the spicy nacho. That's it.
Spicy nacho.
Dude,
Cool. I
these-
do like Cool Ranch. Yeah,
The sweet chili
really good.
Doritos are really good, dude.
Really, I like it because like it starts off, it's not very spicy, but it builds and it keeps building. The longer you're eating the chips, it just keeps on building.
You know what I miss? I really miss is the Cool Ranch
Vagina.
Yeah, them two.
Them
But
too.
the Cool Ranch Taco Loco thing from Taco Bell. They have the nacho one, but the Cool Ranch one that was
Cool
good.
Ranch
I like
way
that.
better. Yeah. I would
I got food
prefer-
poisoning from Taco Bell before. I can't eat that stuff. Dude.
Okay, who hasn't had food poisoning from Taco Bell? Come on, that's
Oh.
just part of it.
Can I ask you a question?
Gamble.
You guys say food poisoning. Are you talking about like constant diarrhea, or are you talking about like one time I threw up
legit food poisoning? Yeah,
Every
legit
orifice,
food
bro.
poisoning.
Every orifice, bro. Every fucking orifice,
For
man.
real?
Bro.
I've never had food poisoning. Like I felt like it wasn't a good
I
meal.
was
Like
Baja blasting everywhere for 2 fucking days, dude. Excuse my French, but I don't
think Baja Blast has any French in it, but you go, King.
Yeah, dude, it was the worst ever, dude. I was at work, dude, when it hit me, and luckily I was demoing it was a restaurant at a mall, and literally it was a restaurant at a mall, and there was a restroom there. Thank God, dude, because every 20 minutes I was having to run to that restroom. It was terrible, dude. I was either throwing up or shitting myself, one or the other. It was terrible, dude. And that's Taco Hell, dude. I'll never even walk in one of those places.
There's a Super Bowl. It was the Baltimore Ravens.
Tall, and this is the top piece, and this goes on here somewhere. So I have one more bag left. So guys, I'm gonna keep on going.
So Baltimore Ravens was 49ers Super Bowl, right? Joey would understand. He already knows what year it was. Okay. So
fuck the breeders.
Somebody
Thanks,
brought
Captain.
chicken tenders to the party, right? And everybody, after an hour or so of everybody eating them, everybody had to go to the hospital except for me. And I probably had the most chicken tenders. And like whoever made them was like, "Oh, these aren't fully cooked. You just like it says on the bag, not fully cooked. You know what I mean? So they're like served raw, frozen, and then I guess they drop them in the fryer and put the hot sauce on them or whatever." I was fine. I was fine the whole night. Like, I cooked them more, but I kept watching the game.
Well, that's the thing is, if you
raw meat, you won't eat that meat for quite a while. Like you'll just be scared of it. Yeah.
But that's the thing is, like, you have to remember is when it comes to food poisoning, it's more so that bacteria got somewhere else because of your hands and somewhere else. It going into your mouth, into your stomach doesn't let anything survive. So it's the contamination of that food onto.
A lot of times it's cross contamination as well. Yeah,
true, absolutely.
Well, the only reason I think that I was okay is because I generally eat like my steaks and everything kind of like rare. So
steak and chicken, not the same thing, sir.
They're not 100%, but like at the same time, my son was like, "We've dealt with this before." You know what I mean?
Bro, Mexi Melts and the literally the Baja Blast, the Mountain Dew. I can't even buy that stuff at the store and drink it.
The Baja Blast sucks anyway.
I used to love that, dude. Baja Blast, I love, dude. And the Mexi Melts and the Chalupas. Remember the Chalupas?
Chalupas are good.
Mm-hmm.
Those
I had one the other day.
I tripled up on those things, dude. I had a stack of them, bro, and I ate a whole bunch of them. And I ended up with
you probably deserved food poisoning at that point, though. Like
I
loaded up on chalupas.
Food poisoning. It's always because you ate. Like whenever you get food poisoning, it's you always had too much of whatever you ate too on top of it. It's not like, oh, I had a little bit and then I almost died. It's always 100%. Like we're gonna throw up for 4 days because there's so much in me.
I used to pizza every day for at lunchtime, dude. I could eat a full pizza to the head. You know, all that stuff. I've always had an appetite and burned through it when I was younger, dude. Like because of work, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's nothing for me to get 6 or 7 tacos and a couple Mexi Melts. Because I'm not just eating one, I'm not just sitting there eating it all in one setting. I may eat 3 or 4 of them and then get to the job site and eat some more.
Hey, you eat 3 or 4, defibrillator, another 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Clear.
That's why I got so fucking fat because I was an athlete and when I was a kid. So like I was just eating, and then when I was a legitimate athlete, okay, and I was on varsity basketball, all that good shit. And then when I stopped because like I was white, I wasn't good enough to actually be in legitimate sports as an adult. I wasn't exercising. I just continued eating that way, but not doing anywhere near, if at all. I wasn't working out at all once I got out of school. Let's be honest. And then it just blew up over time.
I just been a workhorse, dude. I'm just a mule. Fucking jackass.
That's one of those things though. Like sometimes you just I remember growing up, I was my dad had a machine shop, so I'm like, we're moving steel all summer long. Then I'm working out during school, and you're like, yeah. Then I worked at a bank, and then I was like, oh, this is horrible for your body. You're just you turn mushy. Horrible.
Dude, I'm 54 and I don't want to stop, bro. Because when you stop,
you stop.
Yep.
I have one of my close friends I've known since grade 6. His dad or his grandfather ran a dairy farm, and one of the big things was that he went so far as people wanted to buy his dairy farm because it was milk produced for human consumption. So it was very strict, very clean, very all that kind of stuff. He sold it. He was 70 years old, still had a full head of hair and no gray. Within 6 months, hair fell out, all gray, dead. You're going, yeah,
body in motion stays in motion.
Well, it's not just that, but like a dairy farm, bro. You think the cows know it's Christmas? They don't give a fuck, right? You work because the day arrived. That's it. That's just how it is.
You work because you got to work.
So
that's why I lead a slacker lifestyle. That way I get to continue that into retirement. And
yeah. See, thank you. I've been saying that for years, and Joey's been on my case about it.
Yeah, but Joey also wants you to join the military, which is the worst decision the military can ever make.
It's fucking too late. I'm kind of old now.
The whole thing is, this is the funny part. I worked my ass off the whole week, and I was tired, but not real sore. We get out yesterday for 4.5 hours maybe, and we're plowing this track that we're doing. Literally just dragging this chain link that's got some diggers on it, and we're
diggers, huh?
Well, it's got
diggers and riggers in this.
They're spikes, spikes, and we're throwing tires on top of it and dragging it around, dude. Last night I get home, I'm like, it's like riding a horse all day, dude. I'm like, the legs are killing me, dude. I'm like, oh my god, dude. Wow. Yeah, so it was funny. You work your ass off one whole week, you're fine. Then you get off and you're goofing around and doing something for several hours that your body's not used to, and your body fucking lets you know at the end. It's like
loud and clear.
Yeah.
I have a question for you guys. So I've been fighting off a hemorrhoid for the last 4 days. Any secrets?
You've had that hemorrhoid the entire time I've known you.
Get this.
Not true. I have. So I've been using it. It's not helping. It's still getting irritated. I'm not sure what's.
Have you gotten the ointment? Have you gotten any ointment?
Yeah. And I even have the wipes.
You might have to go to the doctor, and they might have to pop it. It depends.
So I believe it keeps on coming about, and I'm like, I need to get it looked at, but at the same time,
why? Okay, so apparently this is a thing. I see that Dino says he has a hemorrhoid, and Joey has got hemorrhoid cream, implying that he gets hemorrhoids too. I've never had one of those things. Is that just a thing you get when you're old, or are y'all sitting down too much?
54, bro, and
no, you can get them. You can get them when you're young. I mean, it's kind of like a.
What is happening, guys? Because I'm sitting on my ass driving around all goddamn day, almost every day, and I never get one. What is going on with you guys? Do I? No, I'm constipated pretty good often.
I can be testosterone. Like you push out so much, and then sometimes whatever happens, and blah blah blah. It's
all that Mexican food, dude. Just.
I mean,
that's a good explanation.
I just kind of let it work. That's what I do. When I'm constipated, I just let it do its thing. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. We'll come back later today. There's no. I can only go to the bathroom so many times rule in my house. You know what I mean? I can go to the restroom as many times as I need to in a day. I don't give a fuck. So if it's not happening right now, it'll happen later.
Yeah. But it's more so I need to just those muscles aren't really worked very well, so I need
drink water.
I do drink
so much water, and that you will be way less constipated. Also, I think a lot of these to help constipation. Magnesium citrate. These things help constipation so much. Magnesium citrate. Take 2 of these every day. Doritos loses his mind. Like he doesn't
You're
get
not
constipated.
constipated, but I appreciate the tidbit. Thank you, Cole.
Well, you asked me. I thought it was a constipation issue. You said, "Do you shit hard?"
No.
Like, yeah, I do actually.
I don't know.
Oh,
You
just-
keep on laughing, but you're gonna get a hemorrhoid this week, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, I spoke too soon." Fucking-
No, I take magnesium citrate. I'm good.
You're like an old woman. But
I'm not laughing at you, bro. I'm laughing with you because I'm sitting there going, I never thought
I'm
I'd be
not
sitting here
laughing. How you laughing with me?
talking about how do you get rid of a hemorrhoid?
I mean,
I don't know what a hemorrhoid is, so like I thought that's what it was.
Am I the pain in your ass? If I'm the pain in your ass, all you gotta do is say go.
Like a little, but that's fine. No, it's one of those things that hilariously, just so everyone knows, we went from 7 viewers down to 4. That makes those 3 people bad people, or they went out to buy some of the cream.
They're like, fuck, I gotta go get some magnesium
They're like,
citrate.
I need to go get some of that stuff.
Hey, I had it so bad. I had it so bad in 2016, bro. I couldn't sit down like without hovering it or whatever. It just couldn't happen. I had to have a surgery called a hemorrhoidectomy. It's where they cut the lining. They cut the lining so the rest of it heals, and it worked like a charm. It worked, but fuck that hurt, dude. Jeez.
So they're not like warts. You can't just freeze them off.
You might be able
but like
to. I mean,
if they have time to calm down, like they'll just go back where they're supposed, because it's a tear in the muscle wall, and then something comes out, right? So
Jesus.
you gotta just go back in there. It just takes time, and your body has to just work,
Well,
right?
This belly ain't full because I'm backed up. That's for sure. It's no problems there, buddy.
Well, that's the funny thing is,
Maybe
I've
you
been
should-
shitting
You
great.
eat a lot of
guys.
beans? You try beans.
No, it's but that's the thing is, I shit good and not hard, so it came out of nowhere. We went swimming, and
G.I. Joe was swimming through the water.
it was a thing, but it was I came out and I was like, why do I
In a row, I get a problem with that.
You what?
If I drink more than a few days in a row, then I get constipated real bad. So
I've never heard that one. I've heard of
It is
getting the
problem.
shit because of it, not constipated. That's
I mean,
it's because I'm dehydrated.
sometimes the highway gets blocked off here and there, bro. But
sure,
I mean, I've never been to the point to where they had to install a speed bump. You know what I'm saying? Just wow.
I mean, that is a fair analogy. I'll give you that. It's a reasonable. Never had to install a speed bump. It is like a speed. It hurts. It's a lot. It's a.
I mean, I've heard that they take a band. Like there's a surgery they do where they take like a rubber band basically and put it around it, and then it just kind of just.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I don't know.
Somebody that had a surgery like that before, but that was a long time ago when I heard about somebody that had problems like that. They had a surgery where they take a little band and put it around it, and like an external one, and just let it kind of choke itself off.
There's also like I remember like my dad had a bleeding ulcer in the 80s, I think.
Oh, my mom's got that.
Yeah, but so they used to cut you open from the front, like all the way down, go in there and figure it out. Now they go down your throat because they cauterize it and that's it. You're done.
Oh yes. I tell you, when they go into your bladder and stuff, it's not fun either. That's the decam. I get that once a year.
So a friend of mine went and had one because her I think it was her father had colon cancer or something. So she went and got one. I was like, I'm at that age. I should get one, but so far I'm like, everything's been okay.
Dorito just like walked off too in the middle.
What did you
But, with that said, I gotta go start getting my kid ready to take him to his mom, so I gotta hop off.
Yay. Have fun.
I'll catch you guys on the flip
All
side.
Just so you know, this is now a butt plug for everyone out there. It's
It looks like it. That's probably why you have hemorrhoids.
Listen, that would explain a lot of things. But then we have the mask. Yeah, I've been using the ointment joy. It's not doing enough. I don't know what's going on, but
you might have to. They might even have a more potent ointment at the doctor for you. You know what I mean? I'm not.
Yeah.
I always give the cream a week or two, and then after that, you might just have to make an appointment.
I don't know. So
I'm actually service connected 0%.
You guys went all the way down there. They didn't have it. Did you check out the other one?
Mm-hmm.
So
He's
then
talking
I
to
ordered online.
I mean,
Psych. You got your game, huh?
Psych.
Yeah.
mm,
Your stomach's upset.
Good YouTube etiquette, this guy, right?
I see, oh, bro,
Hey.
he won't even mute his own mic. The fat
Hey,
bastard.
he doesn't give a fuck, right?
I mean, that's part of his charm, but that's fine. Now he just muted it. That's fucking asshole. That's all right. That's all right. Yeah, no, I'm kind of happy that I'm getting this done. I haven't fucking been doing much Lego, but in case anyone wants to see, this is now a butt plug. That's fine. What else? Hey, have you tried going profile instead of landscape, Joey, to go
I
live?
have not. I doubt I will because I really can't use StreamYard with it.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
I was thinking of getting StreamYard on my phone and trying it that way, but I don't know if
I
it'll.
don't think it runs. I think you got to do it through the app because I did go live. When I was in Niagara Falls, I went live through the landscape or through the portrait mode.
Yeah.
And I didn't notice, but that was before they really had this push. I mean, it was just you've always been able to go live from your phone, but they have this new thing. I think what's going on now is it shows up in the shorts feed somehow. So I mean,
Aren't you monetized, Tito?
No, I don't have the watch hours. That's what I'm trying to build right now, which people are watching actively my Lego. So I'm trying to do this, come on for a few hours, build a whole bunch of shit, and then hopefully I can get those because it started to climb, but I'm only sitting at like 1743 for fucking people, but what are you gonna do? Right? I can't make them. But so people like my shit, but they're like, I like it, not gonna watch it. Oh, thanks. Thank you for your service.
If you build it, they will come.
Eventually. That's why I'm just instead just trying to do wacky shit myself. I try and do 2 shorts a day, try and go live 5 or 6 times a week and hope for the best.
well, you got the subscribers. I wouldn't even worry. I wouldn't even put. I mean, I'd still do a short here or there, but like go all ahead full with the lives. You know, be like, make it known that you're doing a daily live at a certain time. People like that, so they can.
Yeah, do it.
Do it.
It's not a bad idea.
You watch. That's what I did when I was there. Because after Chong, I got up over 1,000, and then I was like 1,000 watch. I had 1,000 subs. I was at like 3,500, and I go live for 5 hours. You give me 20 people. That's 100 hours of time. So
right.
Just right in a row.
That's why I'm like I'm trying to piece it together because I'm like I obviously I'm doing something right, but I need to do more. I need to be more active and all that kind of shit. So.
Another idea you could take too is right where you got your mic. You could set up a camera, a small little camera,
and
pointing
down. Yeah,
and then just record that and record it in time lapse, and do a 5-minute time lapse video all put together of you building that. So you also have some video content.
So I did do those, and
I remember.
And it didn't get much interaction. So I'm like, I like right now I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do, but at the same time, like I'm okay with just doing this and talking shit the whole time, and I'm like, that's fine, right? And then hopefully,
But then you're doubling up. Is all I'm saying. Is if you're doing that while you're doing the live stream,
I've done it.
It's still content.
I sped it up a couple times where I did it up to like 100 times, and I actually fit it into a short, and then nobody gave a shit. I'm like, but I think I might use my phone to record it and see what happens the same way. Maybe it'll work.
You gotta think about how much money you make versus how much time it takes you to do the video. I mean, if you got a sponsor video like Dorito, it's one thing, but like if you're, I mean, for guys like us who are bread and butter is lives,
is it really a sponsored video? Because they're not my sponsor, bro.
Well, you know what I mean. But you're those kind of videos. That's a whole different style. I'm not talking about that, but for guys like me, Chloe and all that, we're built on lives. It's our bread and butter. So like to properly grow through lives, you just have to talk to so many different people. And I don't know how. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how Cole really got the watch hours that fast. It was kind of random.
It was, bro. It happened so quickly, but I'm happy for him, right? Like,
I'm not gonna hate, but it's like Jesus. I had to put in fucking 2.5 solid years of talking to the most random fucking people and doing this. That was before they had shorts and this and that. If they had shorts, it'd been easier. But my goodness gracious, it seems like he turns on a microphone and then bickety bam, fucking 2 weeks later, he's got. I was like, geez, you're monetized already.
Joey, I get to jab again. It's your background, bro.
Me?
No, Joey.
Oh, Joey.
It's your background, bro. That's why it took so long. It's your background, man. It's your backdrop. I'm just kidding. That's what you were saying about me earlier.
Oh, yeah, choking out the backdrop.
Okay. That's why it took you so long. It's those Chinese jerseys.
I mean, that's fair.
You said those Chinese bought jerseys. You said that, remember?
Yeah, they like Chinese jerseys.
Why?
And these American jerseys, they sell the jerseys at the team shop. They're fucking like $150. They're
That's
made.
right.
Oh.
They're made in the same place I'm buying these fucking things from.
100%.
Yeah,
Same with my buggies.
and the Brown. If the Browns go out there and win, if the Browns went out there and won 3-4 Super Bowls in a row, I'd capitulate and I'd buy something from the team shop. But they haven't won anything in my lifetime, so yeah, they can eat my ass.
That's what I love about you, Joey. Is I think we've been kicking each other right straight in the penis since we met each other.
That's just, I don't encourage that activity for anyone out there. It's not
Oh, I'm
healthy.
sorry.
I
Was this
get
a
it.
violation of probation?
No, that's fine. Like, listen, a good Rochambeau is beneficial to your long-term health, but actively don't do that. That's gonna hurt your nuts. And
Yes. Bangkok is not encouraged.
Bangkok is not encouraged. I mean, like, it's a good time, but don't ruin it for the longevity of the universe.
Yeah.
One of those.
Don't walk up to somebody and do that. It's not recommended that you do that.
Definitely, there's not gonna be an interaction you'll enjoy. I
If
think
it's
that-
someone that's playing the game with you, then you're still going to get yelled at. But it's the game. But to expect to still get yelled at, you might just get it back.
a lot. That is, yeah, that's gonna happen. That's for
Yes,
sure.
I know the capital of Thailand. Yes, I do.
Oh God. All right.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not. Don't fucking lie to me, you son of a bitch. With your empty sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's
Hey,
a lie.
One apology way earlier. That one was real.
One, just the one. The one. Sure. Yeah. That's
That was a sincere one.
you didn't expect that to last, did you? God damn it. Literally
There's
the last bag here, and I have you two fuckwits just fucking being assholes. I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way. That's fine. But
There's just a little bit of tears to my eyes here.
you probably deserve it. You fucking fuck. That's yeah, I mean, I'm like right down looking at the barrel trying to finish this fucking thing. And you won't stop. I love it. This is great. This is capitalism. Hey, God damn it. What fuck. Is anyone else going live later tonight or what? What's the deal?
I would imagine so. I don't know who's live now. Let's see.
We got 5 watching.
It was up to 8. Now it's down to 6. So that just happened.
Right
Now we're up to 7.
Here we go.
Yeah, Rico's live. The
I
gallery
don't know who that is.
barbecue's live. Yeah, you don't really know those guys. I don't see any general streamers live. There's only a barbecue guy and another barbecue guy.
Dirty barbecue people.
Fucking barbecue.
You know what though? Like, I had fun barbecuing during the summer, that's for sure, but it's a lot, right? Not in a bad way, but all right. So just so you guys can see, this is the bottom, has one side exposed, and it just goes in like gotta be fucking kidding me. Oh no, it goes like that. Ha!
I have to pee.
Well, fuck you then. Just pee your pants, you dirty slut.
Yeah, I got to get ready to go too.
You guys go. I'm finishing this. I'll see you both in hell.
No, I ain't leaving just yet. I got to get ready to go. I mean, dude, I don't want to outstay my welcome or anything.
I mean, it's so easy, but that's
Oh man, straight to the groin, dude. You talk about nut kicks.
I mean, that happens.
So I play that game too.
Sometimes you just have to. That's how life works. I don't make the rules. I just follow them. There, here.
Dude, it's so funny though, man. For 4 hours, there's 3 adults out there. We're listening to country music. We're listening to all kinds of music. Just rolling around, dragging this track the whole time. Just driving the ATV. Just.
I mean, somebody's got it. Bro, I had fun in LA, by the way. I wish I didn't have the time to visit more people, but in the end, like people were complaining about traffic and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, it's a big city. It's traffic. Just
It's
like
traffic.
it's not some sort of unicorn of like the only place in the world that has traffic. I'm like, bro, it's just like I remember we once landed at LaGuardia and we had to go into Manhattan, and it was a fucking nightmare because like, yeah, we waited for like an hour and a half, and I'm like, yeah, we're just stuck on a bridge waiting. Yeah, that's just traffic. You know? So
It is what it is. Yeah.
it's just one of those. I think a lot of people don't realize how every city in the entire world, you're like, oh yeah, they're shit at planning and they fuck up everybody's thing.
Yeah. And that's the thing, especially if you're someone that's from that Shandong,
What's up, bro?
my brother from another mother.
How you doing? But yeah, like you just gotta fucking figure that shit out. Like it's not that like big cities have traffic. Like I've driven in Paris, I've driven in Greece. They were a fucking nightmare. Why? Because people are assholes. Just the key is don't interact. Just focus on the road and don't interact with people. They honk, just look the other way.
Yeah.
That was the one thing I appreciated when I went to Lyon last year was that you would see people get like seriously mad at like getting cut off, but they would bang their steering wheels and yell and scream. Windows are rolled up and nobody honks. Why? They don't want to get shot. I'm like, I get that. That's a reasonable conclusion.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'd love to have a train horn.
Oh yeah.
It's one of those big old.
I do that up here because
Yeah.
nobody's gonna shoot me, but
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
yeah.
see that's the thing, dude, is in LA, if you're gonna get stuck in traffic, 90% of the time it was because you didn't plan on being there.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if you're like, okay, prime example, if you have to go to downtown Los Angeles, unless that place is specifically off the 101 freeway in downtown Los Angeles, you do not take the 101 freeway. If it's a half a mile away from the 101 freeway, you can go the 110 freeway, you can go the 10 freeway, or you can go the 5 freeway and get there a lot quicker. And you know that when you're from the area, and let everybody else get all stuck in that stuff. But like there's one place that I have to go in downtown LA that is literally right off of the 101. It's the metro station where they have all the like the trains and the underground whatever you call it, and the upper electric stuff. It's one of the main stations right there, but it's right off the freeway. The best way to get there is to jump right off the freeway, do what I got to do, and get right back on the freeway.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? Or else
Yeah.
you get stuck in all that little one-way streets that are right around there,
Bro.
which is just as bad. But
Yeah.
a mile out from that spot where the other freeways are, you can get there a lot quicker just by hitting those other freeways. Like where
See-
Joey was in Inglewood,
Yeah.
he was off of the 110 freeway. Okay. And that's where it was basically the Hollywood Bowl, or not the Hollywood Bowl, but it's off Inglewood, I want to say in Florence. Florence in the 110 is where it was. Right there, the best way to get to that place is off the 110. But you want to go anywhere else in that neighborhood, there's 3 other freeways to get there faster. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because of that stadium, that part of the freeway is fucked right there. So you stay away from it. Look at Joey, your speaker's on off.
I was gonna say the parking in Inglewood was like just like driving down the streets and stuff was kind of silly. It was they have, I mean, it's, imagine that have you ever seen like some of them East Coast cities where they got the really small in lots like right built into the house, and you know what I mean, there's like a tiny driveway just big enough for a car kind of thing. It was like that in Inglewood. It's kind of like, why this big ass state, why are all these people in like this tiny little area? It made no sense to me. But
4 entries to that place. And the only reason I know that was because I worked at that stadium when they were building it. And there's the one that's across there that's straight probably where you guys went in off of the south side. It goes straight in towards where the water is, right there. And then there's the one on the west side. There's 2 right there. And then there's one on the north side, which is you can't even get through probably. I think that one's just private access.
All right, everyone. So, in case you didn't realize, here is the Havoc staff in all of its glory. It's got a little name tag here that says Havoc staff. And then
Skeletor.
is that
That's badass, dude.
are you gonna carry that?
actually be fucking cool, right?
Yeah. Now it's time to take it apart and build something else you want to build. I'm just kidding.
Anyways, everyone, thank you very much for watching. I'm probably gonna be back to what day is today? Today's Sunday. I'll probably be back tomorrow. I'll do some more stuff tomorrow. And we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Question. I've seen you before at a lot of older live streams where you built stuff.
Yeah.
Do you? I know you've said you've taken them apart before.
Yeah, some of them I have.
So, like that one is something I wouldn't take apart, and I'm sure you're not going to because that looks badass. Are you gonna like lacquer that with a clear lacquer to keep it all solid?
I'd rather not, just because then it becomes like, I don't know, like then it's just like it's stuck that way, and if something happens, then it's like then it'll break. But like at the same time, it is pretty fucking cool. Like this is not like my next one. I have Castle Grayskull out of Mega Constructs as well, which was like it was like $500, but it's pretty fucking cool. But it's also like a lot bigger. So I have a few ones that are smaller that I might start doing. But this I want to find somewhere cool to put it because it's the fucking Havoc stuff. I think it's wild, right?
Well, that's what I was just saying. If you keep it for display, wouldn't it be better to clear it? Even though it still would fall apart the same way, but you are ruining the Legos technically.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not a bad idea.
So what do you have like an entire wing of your house for these? Where do you store all this shit?
So I
That's why I don't want to make them solid.
So yeah, it's also so I have like where we are, the area that me and my wife use is we have the bedroom, laundry room, half bath, full bath, furnace room, and then we have a library, which is like a family room kind of thing. And inside the library, like intertwined in the books, is like a collection of Lego. So it's like I'll have a giant Lego head is like the end, like a bookend type thing. So it like I'll have little, like I have a Groot hanging off a book. I have like I also have I don't have the small AT-AT or the big one. I have the one that was like it was like $400. So it's because there's $1,000 or like $1,200 AT-AT, which is like ridiculous. But the one I have, I think, is only like 2,000 pieces. So it ends up being like 2.5 feet tall and stuff. So I got to build that, but I'm like, I just have to find places to do. Like at the same time, just so you guys can see, like I have my Optimus is right there, as well as a little, it's Fat Thor. If you can see the Fat Thor hanging out with these other guys, but like that's a thing too. So, I'll find a place for it. I may. This one would be kind of cool to lacquer because it's the Havoc staff. So.
There's a possibility, like you could, if it falls or something, like a piece breaks off or something. But if you cleared it, then it would be a little bit more solid.
For
and
sure,
it would stay shiny.
You would, yeah.
Be a solid piece, and that is a display piece. That's like,
100%.
dude, I got a spear. You know what I mean? And
Exactly,
I always wanted to hang that spear somewhere.
Yeah,
but I can't hang it somewhere. But that one you can't put up in a box unless it's a box that's all cushioned.
Exactly. Right. So that's why I'm like, I was thinking is even if I lacquer it, then I could probably, because there's a pin inside the head that I had to put together last that connects these two. So technically I should be able to hold it like that and it will stand. So I should be able to put 2 nails in the wall and just have it there. But if anyone touches it, it'll break apart. So tough one. Also, like still the mouth, like, He-Man. It's right there.
Badass, dude.
It's so good. But
I think it's cool as hell.
anyways, all right. That's it for me. I'm gonna go probably enjoy myself with my wife. So I will talk to you guys later, and let me know if you guys jump on later. All right.
Thanks
All
for
right,
having
bro.
me.
We'll see you around. See you guys.
See you guys.
Thanks for having Joey invite me up.